And the young lady that's stopping by for conversation and a drink today is
What's up,
one
everybody?
of the best loved
First time
comedians.
watching it.
She's one
First
of the
time
most
run
decorated
through
actors. She
Monique
won an Oscar,
on
a Golden Globe.
Club Shay
She's a
Shay.
British Academy
Gonna
Film
react
Theater
to it, get my
and Arts
thoughts on it
Award.
as it go
She's
along.
a Scripps Howard
Let's see what he
Guild winner.
says. Should be interesting though.
NAACP Image
It's a long
Award winner. She's
conversation.
been nominated for a Primetime Emmy
let's
and a
see what
Grammy.
they
She's a
talking about.
talented host, executive producer,
Golly.
writer, and an author. A versatile entertainer, a famed Hollywood star, a powerful name in the industry, a
Jeez.
veteran stand-up comedian, a
Who you talking
mother, a
about?
wife, a legend,
Who?
the one, the only Monique.
Wow. Wow.
Great intro.
No one does that better, baby.
Thank
Do it again. Say all that again, baby.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Club Shay Shay. I am your host, Shannon
Come on now. Put them damn cards down and read all that again. Oh, brother, thank you. Thank
When we
you.
stop by, I want to toast you for your amazing, amazing career. Not only in front of the camera, but behind the camera and your stand-up career. Monique, thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me, brother Shay Shay.
Thank you. Better drink some water after that one.
Okay.
Man, they're drunk, bro.
Yes, indeed. Let me just say this before we start.
Yeah.
This right here,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk right to the sisters. One sip, get you right there. Now I'm back to you, Shay. I'm back to you, baby. That's enough for me, baby. But, oh, sisters, if you're trying to make up with your man, if you're trying to get pregnant, this right here, Shannon Sharp, one sip, take care of all your woes. Ooh, baby, that thing right there. Okay.
Monique, when you hear everything that I read on the card, what goes through your mind when you hear that?
What goes through my mind when I hear you read that? I'm humbled by that. I'm grateful for that. I've been allowed to share a gift, because that's what it is. But when you start reading that, there's a part that says, who is he talking about? And there's another part that says, I'm grateful that I was able to put that work in to achieve those things, but all with humility.
You said we were talking off camera. You said, I want to get something. There's something I
Yes.
want to share with you,
Yes.
and I need to get it off my chest early.
Because that's why I'm looking at you now, like, why are you going into that? Because I told you we could not talk till I dealt with you.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen, okay. So let me say this to you. The day I watched Skip Bayless
Okay.
lose himself with you, and that's what he did. He lost himself. And when I watched Skip Bayless say to you, put them goddamn glasses back on, boy. Now, I know he didn't say goddamn and boy, but that's what everybody heard. And I was waiting for you to snatch his ass across that table, baby, and give it to him. I was like, Shannon, this is the perfect time. I don't condone violence.
Right.
I don't say be violent. But that day, I was in my feelings for 2 days. Me and my grandbaby could not watch you for 2 days. And my husband had to say, Mama, let's talk about this. Look at Shannon Sharp. He retired in 2004, but he could still get on that field and run touchdowns, tackles, everything. Had he snatched Skip Bayless across that table, he would have died in Shannon's arms that day.
Right.
So Brother Shay Shay handled that right. Now we can talk. Okay? I just had to get that off of me because I know everybody around the world heard what I heard. No, he didn't say them words, but we heard it in his mind, and we was looking for you to say space and opportunity, Skip. Space and opportunity.
That's that be more coming out of you.
You know what? That's your Aunt Mary coming out of me. That's your Aunt Mary coming out of me, baby.
I got an aunt named Mary Nell. Monique, you and her are a spitting image. I remember the very first time I saw you, and my sister and I, we were talking, and my sister looked at me and I looked at her. I said, she's a spitting image of my Aunt Mary. And you are. You are. Hopefully we're going to put pictures up when we run this. So you're from Baltimore.
Yes.
And I read everything that I read. When you were growing up in Baltimore, what did a young Monique want to be?
Just what I'm doing right now, baby.
You dreamed of this.
Just when I tell you, Shannon, from a little girl, I always wanted to be famous.
Okay.
Because I saw the Jackson 5.
Okay.
And I saw people screaming for them and hollering. And I'm like, damn it, I want them to scream and holler for me, but I couldn't sing.
Right.
But I knew somewhere I was going to be famous.
Right.
So I prayed to the universe, just let me be famous. I didn't understand what all came with that. As a little girl,
Right.
you just see the lights, the glamour, the glitz, and you fall in love with that. So that little girl fell in love with the lights, the glamour, and the glitz. That little girl fell in love with a woman named Oprah Winfrey on a local talk show in Baltimore called People Are Talking. And when I looked at that woman, Shannon, I saw me. I saw a big woman with a big head, big shoulders, and big feet. And I said, if that woman can do that, so can I. So that's what that little girl was thinking about from Baltimore.
Are you the type person that if you see someone do something one time, that means it can be done again? Because you saw Oprah do it. You say, well, Oprah doing it, why can't Monique do it?
I think Oprah, when I saw her do it as a little girl, was a push. However, had I not seen Oprah, my dreams would have still been my dreams.
Okay.
But when you see somebody that's inside of that space, because how many big black women are on TV even now?
Correct.
So back then, you didn't see any big black women on TV that was doing it. So I think had I not seen her, I would have still wanted to do it. But seeing her let me say, okay, it's possible. It's right there.
Right. What was Monique like as a little girl?
What you seeing right now, baby, ain't nothing.
So you always...
I just got, listen, let me tell you something. A lot of people in this industry don't like me, right?
Yeah.
They didn't like me as a little girl, Shannon. I'm so used to this shit. People didn't like me because I was going to tell it. I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell on you. So what you seeing right now is the same thing you getting. They tried to fight my ass in the 12th grade, Shannon. They surrounded me, a group of them. Okay, wanted to fight on me. Why? Because I told the truth.
What you tell?
I told Andre that was not Lawan's baby. Because that's what Lawan.
That ain't your place.
Let me tell. Wait a minute, Sugar. You gonna calm yourself down? Okay. Do you see Shannon losing himself with this? You better back that up, Shannon. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a person for right.
Right.
Right. And if you tell me something and you say, Monique, I've done something to somebody, but don't say nothing. Shannon, I'm going to need you to fix that. Because if you don't fix it, I'm going to have to tell that because it's wrong. So when she tells me this is not his baby, but I'm going to tell him it's his baby, I can't let you do that. That's not right. Wow. So what I stand for is right. And I think where we run into a problem in our community, in our group, we get so caught in, well, that's not your place, but you see wrong happening, right? So when you see wrong happening, what you do? Do you just stand back and say, that ain't my business? Or do you look and say, well, I knew that wasn't his baby. Now the baby 21 years old and he's trying to find his father. What you gonna do? I'm asking you, what you gonna do?
Well, honestly, Monique, if somebody say, well, Shannon, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to tell you this in confidentiality, and I don't want to go any further than me, you, and this table.
Yes.
It stays with me, him, and the table.
Well, let me say this, because I'm going to go back and forth with your ass, okay? I would say, before you tell me, did you hurt somebody?
Yeah, okay, yes.
Before you tell me, is this something that would make me question your character? Before you tell me, you got to be clear about what you get ready to tell me. Because if you're getting ready to tell me something, and I know that you've done something wrong, I know that you're wrong, and I not say anything. That's why people are allowed to keep harming people for years to come. See Harvey Weinstein?
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of people that knew what was happening.
But they felt it wasn't their place.
It wasn't their place. Right, until it becomes you. So I think the moment we get into a space, and I was in the 11th grade at the time, okay? But when we get into a space where we say, listen, if I know you're doing wrong, and I take a position that's not my place, eventually you will succumb to what you support.
What was your relationship with the young lady that told you this in confidentiality?
I'm not going to focus on, I was in 11th grade, now I'm 56, but when she told me, I told her, I'm going to tell. See, I'm that. I'm going to tell him what you said, so we clear. I'm going to tell him what you said because that's not right.
Oh my goodness, Mo.
See, I think that's the problem that we're dealing with right now, Shannon.
Okay.
When we know something is wrong. Everything Cat Williams sat here and said.
Right.
We all know it to be the truth. However, we get so caught up in, well, I ain't gonna say nothing.
Right.
Well, can you believe he said it? Or can you?
Or it's the messenger.
It's the messenger, baby. We get so caught up in the messenger that we'll overlook the message. People have a hard time hearing a 5'5" giant tell the truth. People have a hard time with a black woman over 200 pounds tell the truth because people that look like us, we should just be grateful. we got invited to the party.
Right.
We should just be grateful that someone paid us attention. I've dealt with that my whole life. I've dealt with that. So when you get to a space where you say, listen, I want to be free.
File 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of taxpayers qualify. Form 1040 and limited credits only. See how at turbotax.com. That's me!
No living being should ever eat processed food for every single meal of their life.
I want to be free. I don't want to walk around intimidated, scared, fearful. What might happen? What they going to say? What they going to do? If it's your story and it's the truth, tell it. Because what you can do is be in a position to prevent it happening to someone else over and over and over again. So if I go back to the 11th grade with that sister who's no longer with us, rest her with that sister, I would do that again. Because if you tell me something and we know it's wrong, but you're going to pin that on somebody else, is that right?
No, it's not right.
And what would your Aunt Mary do?
Man, Monique, I swear, Monique.
You're not answering my question. What would your Aunt Mary do?
Well, she gonna tell it because you gonna tell anything anyway. So yeah, they probably know not to tell her.
But that's why you love Aunt Mary, because Aunt Mary kept it in check.
Yeah.
Even though you didn't want to tell her,
Right.
she was gonna tell that baby, you know that's not your daddy.
Right.
We're not gonna play like that. You love Aunt Mary.
I do. The uniqueness of your name, M-O hyphen. Most of the time, Monique is a singular. It's not M-O hyphen. What was that like? Because people say, oh, you trying to be different. You trying to be bougie. You know good well you spell your name Monique like everybody else spell Monique.
Right.
I do. That's my stage name. When I'm not on stage, my name is M-O-N-I-Q-U-E. When I'm on stage, it's M-O, the little hyphen, N-I-Q-U-E. That's just entertainment.
Did you ever think about changing it to the hyphen?
No. On stage is one person. Off stage is somebody different. And sometimes we get the two mixed up.
Right.
On stage, I am an entertainer.
Right.
Off stage, I'm a wife, I'm a mommy, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I'm these different people, but I keep that stage on the stage.
How much of stage is actually Monique?
That's good, Shay Shay. That's good. All of the stage is Monique, but there are certain things Monique's going to say on stage that she wouldn't say off the stage.
Okay.
There are certain things on that stage, you know, there have been people that said, oh, she cussed so much. Oh, I'm a performer, I'm an entertainer, and I'm on stage. But no one will ever find an interview of me doing what I do on stage in an interview like I'm having with you. It's two different things.
Right. What type of student was Monique? I read that you were in, I don't know if this is the correct way, but you were in the class that...
The slower one.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you had a couple...
Say it, baby, now. I want you to say it.
You want me to...
Spell it out.
How about this here?
Hey.
You got 2 naps. You had 2 recesses.
Okay.
And you stayed in the same class.
Okay, but I did not wear a helmet.
Okay.
Now, since you want to go there, I did not have to wear that helmet, baby.
So,
yes.
Mon, as I sit here with you today, you didn't all of a sudden become this advanced. Why were you in that class?
I'm not going to play with you, Shannon. Okay, some of them damn words Cat was using, I was like, what? I said, oh, he's sucking it to him. You know, I never connected with school because I always felt like it wasn't
she was in
adding
special
up.
classes? Is that
So
what
when
you're trying
you're
to
trying
say?
to teach me about the Boston Tea Party, but people that look like me is at the bottom of the boat, I can't connect to what you're saying. I never connected to, because I always felt like something was off. When they were teaching me about history, we were always the savages and we were always the bad people. And then you saw these white people be all the heroes. And as a little girl, I said, something's not adding up. So I don't look at that as a bad thing. I just didn't connect with it. It made no sense to me.
So you never had a problem with the learning, but the disconnect was what they was teaching and what you actually saw. You like, what you teaching me is not what I actually see.
You know what, Shannon? It's a combination.
Okay.
It was a combination, okay? I wasn't grasping it and I didn't believe it. So it's a combination. And when you have a child that is full of energy and is sitting in a classroom that is closed in all day long, and you're trying to tell me all that I'm not, it just did not add up to me. It just did not make sense to me. So there's no shame to it. When people say, was you in the soul class? Yeah. You know, we colored.
So when you...
Hey, baby, we colored. But don't overlook what you don't think is the package supposed to be.
Right.
See, again, we come back to the messenger. Nobody thought that I would be. And I'll go to my family. Like, nobody thought, not the fat one. She's not going to be the one.
Damn.
Not her. So I've been used to people doubting and counting me out. And for me, as that little girl,
Pumpy?
it's like one day. And that one day is right here.
Even your family. So how was your family? How was your brothers and sisters? Because, I mean, look, I got a brother and sister, and, you know, we joke with each other, and I can imagine if the situation were, if one of us was in those class, we gonna get them jokes off, Monique. It is what it is.
No one paid enough attention.
Really?
Like, no one paid enough attention, because though we lived in a household together, we were very individual. So no one even paid attention to what was really going on, and to include my parents. And that's not a victim story. That's not, oh, woe was me. It's just what it was. So it wasn't like, oh, you dummy. The jokes were always fat. They were always fat jokes. Well, okay. So I'm so used to that. But
Are you the only one in your family this
baby, the only one that sneaks snacks. I'm the only one that'll sneak them damn snacks, Shannon. I'm the only one. Yes.
So what would you say your relationship then and now was with your family?
Isn't it crazy how everybody sells LLC formation services for free? The way they make their profit is to sell you more services.
Well, my relationship now with my family, they're my biological family, and I wish them well.
Mo.
Well, here's the thing. I watched you do I think it was like a little clip, and they were talking about interracial dating.
Yes.
And you said, why would somebody stay where they're miserable?
Right.
That applies everywhere, Shannon. It just doesn't apply to that, especially in our community. We've been taught, take care of your family, make sure. Well, there are some families that deserve it. And there are some families that you have to say, listen, I'm so glad we had this time together. And that's it. Yeah. That's where I am with mine. I wish all of them the best, but that's what it is. Yeah. So even as I sit here with you now, with all that's going on in Hollywood and all of the stuff I had to go through, I've already been through it with people that you call your family. And I have to say, you know what? That has to just wash off when I know what I'm standing in and what I'm standing on.
You're absolutely right, Monique. My grandmother used to always tell us, she'd say, son, teeth and tongue may fall out, but family never should. And she stood on that. No matter what transpired in the family, no matter how bad someone had treated you, you should never fall out. But hearing you say that, that's different, because just because we're blood, that doesn't mean we're family through blood. But sometimes it's somebody on the outside that's not blood, that's actually closer family than the actual biological.
We've been taught to say trauma is okay. We've been taught to say you mistreated me, you abused me, you violated me, you disrespected me, you belittled me, but I'm supposed to look at you at Thanksgiving and say, how you doing, Unc? That's what we've been taught. You swallow that pain. That's why people have such a problem with Cat Williams. People have a problem with people that says, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. And that causes a ruckus, and you would say, why are people upset with the truth? When you hear Steve Harvey say, there are repercussions when you tell the truth. Well, remember when we were children? What would your grandmother tell you?
Set you free.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth, because if not, there will be what? Repercussions. Right. Well, now it's got turned around. When you tell the truth, there'll be repercussions. So what's the opposite of that? Should I tell a lie? and get a reward? So that's how we're rolling right now. That's how we're dealing with one another right now. So when it comes to family and people saying, oh, Monique, how could you? Listen, I want to live the rest of this journey that I have in peace. I want to be with my family, in love with my man, he in love with me. We watch our babies grow and develop their own families. I don't need anything in the midst of that, because you family, that I should accept that trauma. I should accept you not taking accountability for what you've done, what you've said, and we just washed the slate. That's why we're in the position we are now as a community, as a Black community, as a community in entertainment. Everybody's been so afraid to say, look what they did to me. Look what they said. And it's like, oh, well, listen now, we don't want to ruffle no feathers, especially if the messenger doesn't fit what people should think the messenger is supposed to look like.
Right.
And we keep repeating history, Shannon.
Is it a situation, Monique, where people look and say, well, you made it thus far, well, it couldn't have been that bad? Because if it has been as bad as you say it is, Monique, how would you have ever gotten out of B-More? How would you have ever gotten into Hollywood? How would you ever have a talk show? How would you ever be on a sitcom? So how is it that bad, Monique, and you end up like this?
You know, when you first got in the NFL,
Yes, ma'am.
your eyes were like this.
Yes.
And it was, oh, I made it. I'm here.
Right.
And then after you start getting in it and you started seeing things and you started feeling things and now your eyes start getting a little closer, because now you're understanding what the business is.
Right.
So when you first walk through the door, you're walking through the door saying, come on, baby. Oh, this is all I've ever prayed for. And when my baby Cat Williams sat here and said, no one's ever gone out to LA and got a sitcom like that. I was in LA for 3 months, and here comes a show called The Parkers. And there we go from there. It took off from there. So
these guys showed up on a crate, and it was installed within an hour. Pretty impressive.
That was...
I think that when people say, if it was so bad, you mature. You begin to understand what you're dealing with.
Right.
You begin to understand what you're in the midst of. And once you understand it is when you can speak on it.
Right.
But before you really know what you're looking at, how do you speak on that?
Right.
Because when you first walk in the door of Hollywood, you have everybody telling you, oh my goodness, you're going to be amazing. Oh my goodness, this is going to be incredible. Well, that's all you know.
That is all you know.
Yes.
But you're so happy to be here.
Yes.
And you're like, okay.
When I listen to your story, you say dirt poor,
Yes.
bathroom outside.
Yes.
It was, we had to make it work however we can make it work.
Correct.
And then you get that first big check.
Yes.
And you think the people that gave it to you is awesome because they gave it to you. And it's more money than you've ever seen before, until you find out this ain't the right money. This ain't the right amount. Wait a minute. If they got this, why am I getting this? Then you start putting the pieces together and you start saying, it's not right and I'm going to speak about it. See, when I saw Taraji broken on those platforms, it was painful to watch. However, Taraji and I had a conversation over a decade ago.
Yes.
In my trailer when I was doing the Monique show. And she said, you know, you got to keep on getting it until your turn comes. And I said, Taraji, most of us die before our turn comes. We got to ask for it right now. Now, I understand that because there was a time I felt the same way.
Exactly.
Because that's what I was told.
Right.
You just keep going and we'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time. And the next time never comes. And then you see our sister broken, sitting on those platforms. Now, when I said it,
why didn't it get the traction when you said it?
Everybody had a problem with it.
When she said it, now all of a sudden everybody is coming, and I don't have a problem. I'm glad.
Yes.
But if you said this a decade ago, and I remember you saying it over a decade ago, why didn't it get the traction? Why didn't it get the support? Why wasn't it propped up when Monique said it?
I think there's a few reasons why. Number one, it was the messenger. I should just be grateful I got invited to the party. You a big fat black woman. How dare you be the one? And then on top of that, you're saying names. You're saying Oprah's name out loud. You're saying Tyler's name out loud. You're saying Lee's name out loud. You're saying Lionsgate out loud. That's not what we do. We say they. We say the people. We say the studio. We say the producers. How dare you actually say our heroes' names?
You're very specific.
These are our heroes. How could you say their names out loud? Because they're the ones that did it. And if I don't say it out loud, now you see a woman that is swallowing that pain, that is so stressed out. Then you see our sister Taraji P. Henson sit on that platform. And I love that baby because she's a beautiful spirit. But to see her that broken, what our community was saying was, we have a hard time, some of us, we have a hard time seeing a strong black woman with a back straight and a chin up and a strong black man standing by her side. We have a hard time accepting that. But we can accept seeing a black woman broken. Now it's really serious because she's falling apart. Our community had a hard time with those two things. And when I would hear people say, why is her husband there? Why is he there? It's a sad day when we're questioning why a black man would stand with his black woman. So when you hear black women saying we're the most undervalued, disrespected, underserved, mistreated, violated, exploited, we get all of that. Then you see a black man standing with his black woman saying, not on my watch. And you hear some black men saying, why her husband gotta be there? We're in a sad state of affairs when we begin to question black love and black unity. So they didn't want to hear me, some of them, because of what I look like, because I spoke about their heroes, and because they saw that man standing right there strong.
Did they question the validity, because we had never seen this before, not so public, not so present?
Yes.
Did they question you and his relationship?
Me and my husband?
Yes.
When you say question,
what it's like.
They had to discuss for boycotting Netflix. I know we remember that, right, Monique? Asking everybody to boycott Netflix. That was wild.
Because they did, but I want to understand what
okay, did they think that was your husband, or what was he, your manager? Because he's been everything. Yes. He's your lover, he's your manager, he's your confidant.
Name him.
He's the father.
Come on, name him.
Whatever he's all encompassing.
Yes.
He's a toolbox with all the tools that Monique needs.
All of them.
And so when I heard people saying that, why is he there? Why does he have to be in every interview? Why does he have to be in the background? Why can't Monique do that? Why not?
Why not? Why not? And that's when you see, and these are my sisters, but when you see Taraji, when you see Viola, when you see our sisters speaking out, you never see their representation sitting right there with them. Mm-hmm. You never see them saying, listen, we got to fight together.
Right.
My husband is also my manager, which is my representation.
Right.
But again, we've been so beat down that some of us have a problem with this black man saying, I'm standing right here strong, right, and I will not flinch and I will not budge. What a sad state of affairs we are now in, where you have people that look like you and I, mm-hmm, that would question why this man is standing there. That, for the life of me, is disheartening. Mm-hmm. When we heard Brother Malcolm say, we've been run amok, we've been hoodwinked, we're now doing it to ourselves. We're now doing it to ourselves. So when you say, Monique, it was different because we had never seen that before, you said their names. Mm-hmm. Let me say this, I'm not the first one.
Right.
I'm not the first one, but we get washed away in history so easily that we start thinking, oh, this is the first one, this is the first one. Her name is Claudette Colvin. And she's not the first one, but she was before Rosa Parks. Mm-hmm. But because Claudette Colvin did not fit the picture that they thought she should look like. She was dark skinned and she had coarse hair. And because the organization, I believe it was the NAACP, did not think she would be accepted by the white people, they had to get somebody that they said the white people could accept. We keep repeating the same thing because what I said is no different than what anyone else is saying. Not at all.
Right.
It was the messenger. And it was the way that I'm not putting my head down. I'm not shedding one tear. I'm not going to say, I don't want to say their name because I might get in trouble. I'm going to say all of it.
Right.
Because when you really think about that little girl coming behind you, what I don't ever want that baby to see is me broken. I don't want her to see me falling apart. And I understand it. I understand how it can happen, Shannon, when you may not have a foundation at home.
Correct.
When you may not have that man at home or that woman at home, whomever, that support person saying you're not crazy.
Right.
I got you. Come on. We're going to go through this. We're going to get through this. So for us, if we start taking things for what they are and get out of our emotions, we will be so far along.
Do you believe punishment? Punishment is not only meant for the perpetrator, but it's also to deter others from said acts.
You see it.
Do you believe the punishment that was bestowed upon Monique was not only to punish you,
saw it,
but to deter others from saying what you said?
Well, Shannon, see here, and I'm going to answer that. But sometimes we act like we don't know our history. See, back in the day, when they had us in chains, they would beat one real good.
Right. But in front of the others.
In front of the others, and they
As
let
an
everybody
example.
know what you don't want is that type of ass whooping.
Right.
So what they said was, we're going to beat Monique really good. We're going to sit her down. And I made it public. Financially, my family took a hit, Shannon. And when I tell you we took a hit,
Right.
we took a hit. So when you see our sister go through that, you see her go through, and we act like our eyes didn't see what it saw when we watched that promotion happen with the color purple.
Right.
We wanted to act like we didn't see how Oprah Winfrey treated Taraji. In my humble opinion, when you saw her walk up, you saw that there was tension. You saw that there was something happening.
Right.
And then when you see Taraji write her a love letter, it's like, listen, we got to stand tall and stand strong on what we know. We know you were mistreated. We know it wasn't right. We know it was unfair. And then you turn around and say, oh, but Lady O handled it. I have a problem with that.
Want to build your business but not sure where to start?
Not
Try
where to
Taylor
start.
Brands.
It's actually an all-in-one.
I have a problem with that because that allows Lady O to keep on doing what she's doing. And we're in a position of, I don't want to say nothing because we saw how Monique got whooped. Now, again, that's just my humble opinion. But I don't know I don't know how else to frame that. It's like, listen, you better fix that because you saw what they did to her. You saw how they treated her.
Is it a situation, do you believe it's a situation that Oprah might have faced something similar that maybe wasn't as public as you? And she's looking at it, well, if I faced that, went through it, and came out on the other side and look at me, it should be okay. Because sometimes we get that with parents. You know, I struggle. You say my kids should have to struggle sometimes also. Do you think that might be something going on with her? Or you just like, there's a disconnect?
There's a disconnect.
Okay.
There's a disconnect, and there's been a disconnect for years. There's a disconnect. And I think what happens is we place people on these pedestals and we say, oh, no, you can't do no wrong. We don't even want to hear it.
Right.
And when you hear cats say, you know what they do? They don't say anything and they act like it didn't happen. I'm going to keep talking until you take accountability.
Right.
Until you say, Uncle, I've done this. That's why it was so important. From Oprah Winfrey to Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels. Now, Lee Daniels was the only one I had to deal with. Did you see Lee Daniels apologize? He walked out on that stage. Not only did he apologize on stage, that man apologized to our children. That man apologized to our children and said, I need to apologize for what I put y'all through. He's the only one I had to deal with. However, it became a problem with Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry, that I wouldn't do something and work for free. Now, when you say, well, maybe Oprah feels like she came through it, why can't you?
Right.
Well, there's a story with Oprah Winfrey when she was on the show, People Are Talking. Richard Sher was making $55,000. She was making $22,000. These are her words. It was her co-host. She said, I had to leave because they wasn't paying me fairly. Now you say a black woman who did nothing wrong, and you're in the midst of this situation because she called me, Tyler Perry called me, Lionsgate called. When you were on the phone with my husband, you said, I agree with Monique. I agree with the position she's taking.
But
when it came time to say it out loud, Oprah Winfrey went totally silent. Now, to Tyler Perry's credit, Tyler Perry called us up, right? And he said, I can see the pain in you and I can hear it. And I want to let you know that I would never do nothing to hurt you. But the conversation kept going on. Only for Tyler Perry to admit he did start a rumor that I was difficult to work with. He lied. Only for Tyler Perry to admit I was wrong. And when my movie Boo come out, I'm going to say that, right? Now, here's where, when you did that interview with Kat, I could respect how you do it. Because Kat said, you let them people lie in your face. And your response was, Kat, I don't know if they're lying or not.
right.
Because I can only take them at their word.
At the word.
Right?
Yes.
Well, we sent you the audio of Tyler Perry. I don't want you to take me at my word. I want you to hear his words. And what did you hear that man saying? What did you hear that man saying?
He said it.
What did he say?
Is Monique, you know you're not supposed to be recording people.
No. Let me back up.
Okay.
Everything we did was legal.
Say it, Shannon.
And here's where a black woman really gets the kick in the ass. Had I not recorded Tyler Perry, then it would have been my word against his. And then on top of that, it would have been, he's so powerful, we can't even pay no attention to that.
Right.
Well, now I have him on audio, which is legal to do where we live.
Right.
Okay? We have him on audio. And do you know what some people then said? Why would you record him? Just like you sat there and said, you know it's illegal to... But did you hear what the man said? I violated you.
Yeah.
I mistreated you.
Yeah.
Do you know, Shannon, that's cost my family tens of millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Over a lie and a rumor?
Is he gonna make he's gonna compensate you for that?
I want you to look in your camera.
Yes.
And I want you to talk to Tyler Perry because you heard what that man said. So ask him, will he compensate my family for that?
Tyler, will you come on Club Shay Shay and let's have a conversation about the fair compensation for what transpired between you and Monique? You can sit right here and she's sitting right here and you and I can have a conversation.
And we'll do you one better. And give me 5 on that, baby. We'll do you one better, Shay. My husband and I will sit right next to him. See, with this whole situation, and some of the people that Kat talked about, ironically, I have this issues with those same people. There were people that reached out to Tyler Perry on my behalf.
Okay.
And I was grateful for that. Okay. There was Al Sharpton, the Reverend Al Sharpton, civil rights leader.
Yeah.
I sent him that audio. He listened to it. He said, baby, what that man did to you was wrong, and you're like my daughter. And we're going to have to get him to fix that.
Right.
Damn. Somebody get good to get a damn commercial. This man making just as much money off me.
Al Sharpton for 6 months. The next time we saw Al Sharpton, he was on a podium talking about we don't need to fly commercial because we can fly Tyler Perry's private jet. I said, that's why maybe I'm not hearing back from him. Okay. Then we had our beautiful sister, Stephanie Mills.
Yes.
Okay. Who is, she don't play.
Yes.
Right? I told her what happened, sent her the audio. Now, I don't know if she listened to that audio or not, but however, she called Tyler Perry. She said, Monique, Tyler Perry does not want to revisit this. Okay, fine.
Right.
While we're on the phone, Tyler Perry calls her back and says, I will meet with Monique, but not with her husband. Now, you ready for this?
Yeah.
And then Monique has to apologize publicly to say Oprah and I had nothing to do with messing up her career.
But that'd be a lie.
Look in the goddamn camera.
I thought that was a stage, the way you.
Look in the camera.
Yes.
Because you heard it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when you hear what this man is saying, so I said, Stephanie, tell Tyler Perry, never will I meet with him without my husband. And I owe no apology, so I'm not going to give one. That goes away. Kevin Hart. Now, you know when Cat Williams said gatekeepers?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, I do his podcast.
Yes.
And I want y'all to re-listen to the podcast so you can hear it for yourself. When he first comes on, he says, you're like my mother, you're like my aunt, you're like my sister. Okay? Then we do the podcast. We speak about the Tyler Perry situation. Oprah Winfrey, he said, I don't really know Oprah, but I'm going to reach out to Tyler. I appreciate that. Kevin kept his word. He reached out to Tyler Perry. Kevin Hart called me back about maybe a week or so later. He said, Mo, I talked to Tyler. He said he don't want to revisit it. He said, but I tell you what, let's move past that, Mo. Let's just move past that and let's just do great things. So whatever
That's what Kevin said.
I want you to hear me, Kevin Hart. Let's move past that, Mo. Let's do some great things together. Don't even worry about it. Whatever y'all want to do, I will partner with you. I'll executive produce with you. You just let me know what you want to do. Now, let me say that before we go any further, because I want to make sure I give Kevin Hart his proper credit. When my family was up against the wall, Kevin Hart wrote us a check and said, here you go. We're forever grateful for that. When we were able to give it back, we said, brother, we appreciate you with some interest on top, because I don't ever want nobody to think me and my husband. So I want to make sure I put that out there. That brother really helped us out when we needed to be helped out. Then when he came back,
I got some student
I got
loans.
you. I didn't ask Kevin Hart to do anything. He said, I'll executive
I ain't paying you
produce,
back, though.
I'll partner with you. I said, good shit, Kevin, because we're in a deal with Endemol, and we're trying to get our talk show back. Mo, whatever it is, I got you. Now, Kevin Hart is one of the biggest entertainers right now in the world, right? And was then. We got off the phone with Kevin Hart. We called Endemol immediately and said, Kevin Hart said, whatever we want to do, he got us. He's going to partner, executive use. They was like, oh, this is incredible, because when you put Kevin Hart's name on it, you already know what it is.
Correct.
2 weeks go by. We get a call from Endemol. Endemol says, we just got a call from Kevin Hart's manager, Dave Becky. And Dave Becky said, Kevin doesn't want anything to do with Monique. So whatever she told y'all, he doesn't want to do anything with her, nothing. You know, he doesn't want any kind of relationship with Monique.
So what changed between the 2 weeks and plus he gave you a check, you gave the money back, then said he would partner with you, executive produce, whatever you need, Mo, hey, we got you. So what transpired, or what do you think transpired between then, that 2 week period?
Well, soon as we got off the phone and they told us what Kevin's manager, David Becky, said, I called Kevin Hart immediately. I said, hey, baby, we just got off the phone with Endemol, and they said Dave Becky called them up and said, you don't want anything to do with me. He said, Mo, that's a miscommunication. I can tell you right now. I said, wait a minute. Are you okay, though, with this white man calling them up? Getting in between our relationship after something you said. He said, Mo, that's a miscommunication, and we're going to talk Tuesday. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you right now, it's a miscommunication. That was 2 years ago. If you talk to him, I talk to him. I've never talked back to Kevin Hart again.
Damn.
So that's what we're faced with.
Say it ain't so,
when you
Kevin.
allow somebody to come in between a relationship with a woman that you said, I'm like your mother. You said I'm like these things. I didn't ask you for that. So everything that baby was saying sitting here, everything he was saying was on the up and up, because when you hear people say, get the anger out your heart. Oh, man, no one's saying he's lying. No one ever said I was lying. It's so easy to discount and devalue because of what we look like.
Right.
However, when it comes to Tyler Perry, I will not allow you to discount or devalue, because that is your voice on that audio. Remember on Good Times when Penny's mother was whooping up on her, and she had recorded it? That's you on tape. So how does it go from you saying you're going to give me an apology to now I owe you an apology?
But what do you want an apology for?
Snap your W-2 and file your taxes 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition.
What could I possibly owe you an apology for when you've admitted? See, when Lee Daniels says to me, because Cookie from the show Empire, I was offered that role. Now, Taraji tore it up, baby. Listen
Oh, damn. Here we go.
However, I was offered that. Then Felita called me back and say, baby girl, they said you're too difficult to work with. But you hear on the audio that a man told David Talbert I was difficult to work with. Do you see how that cost my family?
Yes.
And with no accountability because, oh, it's the great Tyler Perry. No, you've got to be accountable for that. Oprah Winfrey, you've got to be accountable for the things you've done with my family. You've got to be accountable for that.
Is there any relationship between you and Tyler and you and Oprah currently?
No. No.
But I thought there was an apology. I read that I thought I read somewhere that Oprah had issued you an apology and Tyler had issued an apology. That's not correct.
No. No.
The only person that's given you an apology.
You saw it. Is Lee Daniels. That's the only person. So we are in a place where we're too afraid to call them for what it is. We're too afraid to say if it looked like a duck and it quacked like a duck, what is it, Shannon? It's a duck.
Right.
Chicken.
So again, you see the struggle of the black woman as I'm sitting here talking to you and you say, Mo, but why would you record him? But you heard the man violate me. The first thing wasn't, I can't believe that cat did that to you. It's why would you do it? And we understand it because we've been conditioned that way.
Because when you had to get somehow, because when you're telling people these are lies, nobody is believing Monique. So now, even though you have him record his voice, and that's him, and he's saying he made it up, now it's no longer, oh man, I can't believe he lied on Mo. Mo, why'd you record it? So now they put the onus back on you.
Where's the win? How do we win? How does a black woman win when you say, here he is right here? And I look to the community and say, how long do we allow us to keep being exploited, used up, taken advantage of? And because we think somebody can give us an opportunity, we just say, shh, I'm not going to say nothing. If we keep operating like that, Shannon, you're going to have a whole lot of us sitting right here in this same seat, almost telling the same story.
Why do you think Tyler is afraid to meet with you and your husband? Why does it need to be you one-on-one when he meet with other representatives and their client? What is it about you that he feels it needs to be just you and he? Does he think your husband is some kind of negative influence on you? He thinks the husband is saying things that Monique probably wouldn't say if I just had an opportunity to talk to her one-on-one. What do you think that is?
Let me say this.
Excuse me.
People better be glad my husband is by my side. Because there are people in Hollywood that know wherever you act up is where I show up. People know in Hollywood, baby, Shannon, and I don't say it with a badge of honor, it's just what it is. Well, I've had to say, who you think you talking to? And we sitting there with the president of the studio or my patience level is not gonna allow, I've been molested. I've been violated. So the moment I see you trying to do it, we're going to have to address it. My husband is nothing but a gentleman. And you know why people have a problem with my husband? Because he's right to it. There's no we're going to dance around the bush. He's right to it.
Right.
And people like Tyler Perry, people like Oprah Winfrey, they look at my husband and say, how dare you be so direct?
Right.
How dare you not put your eyes down when you're talking to me? How dare you do that? My husband is also my manager. Why would he want to exclude my management?
I think she calls him daddy.
You should want my husband to be there. You may want him to be sitting right there so that way we can have a conversation that everyone can be heard. But I appreciate you, Shannon, because most people are too afraid that's heard the tape. They're too afraid to say, no, I heard it, and this is what he said. I appreciate T.S. Madison because T.S. Madison was the first one to say, no, I heard what he said. So when folks were trying to jump on her, she not down for the black woman, listen, baby, y'all don't even understand the fights that sister be having when ain't nobody watching for the black woman.
Right.
So I appreciate you looking in that camera.
Right. Well, I mean, look, sometimes there are some black people, some, not all, some, that my grandpa used to say, Mo, is that if you're not careful, you'll become the very thing you despise the most in a person. Now, what do we despise most about Trump supporters, ex-President Trump, is that no matter what he says, no matter what he does, they give him an out. There's some people in our community, no matter what powerful black people say or do in our community, we'll give them an out.
And we can't.
And we become the very thing we despise the most. What we despise most about President Trump's, ex-President Trump supporters is that no matter what he does or says, it's okay.
Yes.
We can't do that. We can't. If somebody's wrong, like you said, Mo, if somebody's wrong, we have to be man or woman enough to say they're wrong, regardless of what comes along with that.
They don't know. They don't understand what them saying, I'm sorry, will mean for them. See, when I read the
Because that's
day,
not for you. And I'm sorry, it's not for the person that you offended. It's for you. Because currently you're in hostage, your feelings, because you have to live with that.
You've got to live with that.
What you've done.
So when you see a woman say, me turning 70, I'm so happy because I've never hurt anyone. Stop it.
When a story about healthcare is
Shannon.
actually about the rise of AI and how AI can
Stop it. Because there's a black woman that has been calling your name for over a decade that you seem to want to make go away. And I know I'm not the only one.
Would you sit, if Oprah called Mo today, would you sit down and have a conversation with her?
Let me tell you what I'll do if Oprah called me today, Shannon Sharp. We will sit down and have a conversation with Oprah Winfrey. We will sit down and have a conversation with Tyler Perry. We will sit down and have a conversation with the presidents of Lionsgate. We will sit down and have a conversation with anyone that is, I'm going to say brave enough to sit down and have a conversation. But what happens is within seconds, if Tyler Perry was to sit right here, you would say, man, I heard you. What you trying to tell me about this sister? Within seconds, Oprah Winfrey would know that people would say, hold up. See, when I speak about Oprah Winfrey, and let me be clear, I love that sister because she's our sister.
Mm-hmm.
She just got to come back across the street. We got the light on. When I speak about Oprah Winfrey, I speak about that woman because she's spoken about me. And when you begin to speak about me privately, I'm going to speak about you publicly. You've been unfair. You've been unjust. And you watched a black woman be thrown under the bus, and you said nothing. And here's what's interesting as well. My husband was saying to me, after I won the Oscar award, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she had the people come, to talk to the Oscar winners. And I go on the stage and I talk to the Oscar winners. Well, when we go to a commercial, the people in the audience, and I say this humbly, as my husband was telling me, he said, Mama, they wasn't screaming Oprah. They was screaming Monique, right?
Right.
So much so, I had to say, y'all gonna shut that shit up now. We get ready to go back on the air. We having fun, right? He said, but I watched Oprah. He said, and I watched her almost turn in her seat like they screaming her name. Now, some people will say, oh, Monique, you're reaching. Well, let me tell you what then happens. The movie The Butler, that movie was offered to me. Lee Daniels came out and said, I did offer Monique The Butler. But as he said to me, he said, Mo, at the time I didn't have no power and I didn't have no money. So when Oprah said she wanted it, so who played the lead role in The Butler? Oprah Winfrey. Lee Daniels was getting ready to do a biopic on Richard Pryor.
Damn, so she's supposed to play Cookie and she's supposed to be in The Butler.
Who then calls Lee Daniels and says, I want to be the grandmother. So as you're looking at me, it's the same way I'm looking at that sister. And I'm saying, why don't we sit down and have a conversation? Because the way things could look, it may not be that way, but just the way things look, Oprah. Just the way you would have my family on your show, Oprah.
One might say, Mo, well, I mean, if they're looking for a black...
Big, go ahead and say it. Shannon so careful with his words. He want to say fat black woman. If the role looking for a fat black woman, Mo, but he was like,
but I want to keep my podcast, Mo. Y'all ain't finna cancel me.
This why we love you, Uncle Shay Shay, because we want you to say it, a fat black woman. Now, me and Oprah fit the damn description, Shay. Fat black. Don't we fit it?
You do. But I'll be right back in the I'll be your neighbor up there where you live at.
Listen here. So, are you lying?
No.
Now, I'm not going to have your big ass sitting here in the Hall of Fame and you scared to say shit.
Okay.
And I want to excuse myself for any of the babies that might be watching this, because I wasn't going to say no spicy things. But Shay Shay get me wrong now. Come on, Shay.
One might say, or people might say, well, Mo, I mean, the role calls for a heavyset black woman. You, Oprah, y'all fit the roles.
Yes.
How do we know that she wasn't offered the role at long and people think that she's better, more qualified than you?
It don't work like that, Shannon. You can't offer me. Once you say, I want you.
Right.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I don't have the money to fund a production.
Right.
I
Pumpy,
don't
I was
have
supposed
the
to be the
connections
point
to go
guard
to
of the
the
Magic,
studio
Pumpy.
and say, listen, I want to
I
do
was
this
supposed to
movie.
be playing for the
She
Cowboys.
does. So when Lee says, hey, baby, she got the money, go get it.
Get it.
But someone would just say, how is that working out like that? How is that happening like that? How is it that things that was offered to Monique, you seem to be playing? Now, I told Oprah about that. See, everything we're saying to you right now.
You was having a conversation with her.
Listen here. I don't play the behind the back. I don't play the I'ma share it with Shannon. There's one thing I will share with you that I've not shared with anybody.
Okay.
But I don't play the behind the back and all of that. I say, listen, let me try to get to you first. Now, if you avoid me, okay. But I tried to be respectful. I tried to call you first. When she had my family on her show, I tried to call you first. I tried to talk to you privately, but then you became the great, mighty Oprah Winfrey, and you were too busy to talk. Well, now I'm going to talk about it. This woman has overstepped with me in so many ways that somebody would say, if we wasn't Monique and Oprah Winfrey in the entertainment business, and we was Monique and Oprah Winfrey that worked at Costco, I see you in the break room. I see you at your cash register. Because she's overstepped.
It's nothing like a little confidence boost.
Now
to
she
help
talking about
ease you back
Costco?
into the dating
God
scene.
damn.
It also includes having a smile.
Wow. So I don't know, Monique. This might be the term crossing of the Rubicon. We might be going too far. How do you, if you feel that way, because clearly if you feel this way. Now,
Yes.
I get why you feel this way. I don't know, like I said, I don't know this. I'm taking you at your word. Now, not the Tyler, because
Yes.
I've listened to the audio.
Yes.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about Oprah.
Yes.
I'm just taking you at your word.
Yes.
If you feel this way, is it possible she feels the exact same way about you?
How could she? How could she? What have I taken from Oprah? When did I have Oprah's mother and father on my show? When did I have anybody come and speak about Oprah Winfrey on the Monique show? That's never happened. So how could she feel that?
Would you have done that?
Had her family on?
Yeah.
Let me tell you how we operate. When we had the Monique show, there was a comedian on there. And he was trying to joke T.I.'s wife, Tiny. My husband walked out in the middle of his set. He said, cut. He said, brother, we don't do that here. We uplift our folks. We don't play that. So no, I would not have done that. When Oprah Winfrey had my family, and I'll tell y'all, and I'm looking around, baby, because there are people here.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't want to be rude to the people at Shay Shay's club. You got other people in the club, right? When Oprah Winfrey called me up, and she said, I got a call from your brother. And this is after I won the Oscar award, right? And your brother wants to come on the show, and he wants to apologize to you for molesting you. And he wants to tell other people how to look out for a predator.
Right.
I said, Oprah, I said, I don't want anything to do with that cat. I said, and then she said, well, if you want me to scratch the show, I will scratch it. I said, sis, don't scratch it because he could be a different person. And I don't want to get in the way if that cat is a different person. I just don't want no parts of it.
Right.
Okay? When I hung up that phone, Shannon, I was like, I appreciate that sister. Like, she didn't have to call me.
She didn't.
She didn't have to call me and say, I'm going to have your brother.
Right.
I start seeing commercials with my mother. and my father and my other brother who used to be my manager, who knew the fear that I had with the brother that was up on stage, right? We never talked about my mother being there.
She never told you that.
You know how you feel about your grandparents?
Yes, absolutely.
You know the honor and how you speak about them? Imagine you then seeing your granddaddy and your grandmama on a show, and they're talking about somebody that violated you, and that woman didn't tell you that they were going to be there. How would you feel?
I would feel like you felt betrayed.
That is exactly how I felt and how I feel. And it's not, oh, I'm in a... No, I understand it. But you betrayed me, sister. And I'm not the only one.
Because at the time when she called you, she said it was just your brother.
Just my brother. And when my mother was on that show, do you know what I had to deal with, Shannon?
What's that?
I would be in the store, and I would have elderly women coming up to me, and they would say, your mama ain't shit.
Damn.
Now, they wasn't lying, Shannon, okay? They wasn't lying, baby. Sometimes you gotta let the truth be the goddamn truth. Sometimes you got to just go with it, but still, it's my mother.
It's your mom.
And I'm in here, and because when she I'm having to defend something, and I got that often with them telling me what my mother wasn't, because you did not tell me. Had Oprah Winfrey said, I'm gonna have your mama, I'd have said, shut that shit down. I don't need nobody seeing my mama be greedy. I don't need the world seeing. Shut it down. Now there's a white woman.
Huh. How long have you been tracking our car's value with Carvana?
Just like 7 months.
Should we sell it?
Named Barbara Walters. They called her first. And she said, Monique, I told your family, I can't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you. You just won that award. Like, why would I do that?
Yeah, you're here. Why would I bring something that I know that you don't want to talk about? You lived it. Why do I need to replay it again?
Ask her. Your camera right there.
I was trying to.
I know, baby, but ask her. See, this is where it gets juicy, right?
Yeah.
Because you're saying the right things, but you're asking me questions that I can't answer.
Right.
I can't answer why Oprah Winfrey did what Oprah Winfrey did.
Yeah.
Only Oprah Winfrey can answer for her actions.
Yes.
So again, stop
He gonna
being
call Oprah
scared.
out like that.
No,
I knew that would get him on there. I knew that would pop him back in, baby. I knew that would get up a Shay Shay.
But even this show, I have a producer and I give him a lot of leeway. But I've had people reach out and say, well, a family member said something and I want to come on your show and refute it. That ain't what we do here.
Right. It's like,
it ain't gonna happen.
It's almost, you don't cross that barrier.
We don't do the family thing.
You don't do the family thing. And I'm gonna bring this up. I wasn't gonna do it, but damn it, this seat.
You might want to have another sip over.
This seat make you go, truth, tell it. No, tell the damn truth. God damn it, tell the truth. Because family is sacred.
It's supposed to be.
And we don't cross the line with family. And people begin to get comfortable to jump on the Monique bandwagon of Monique doing things wrong, and she doing this and she doing that. And there's a brother named D.L. Hughley.
Yep.
And until he take accountability, I won't let it go.
What?
Because...
Not DL.
What did you get ready to say?
I was going to say, what did DL do?
Let me tell you. Baby, that voice went up, didn't it? DL is friend. He like, that's my friend.
No, I've met DL on several occasions. I don't know DL like that. Okay. Do I know DL say like I know an earthquake? No. Do I know, since I've interviewed Kat, had several conversations with him, do I know DL on that level? No.
Right. See, when we say family is sacred,
right?
Family is sacred. And we know that you don't cross the line when it comes to family.
Correct.
Right? I do DL's radio show.
Yes.
DL Hughley is not there. His team is there. And Shannon, we having a great time. I mean, baby, we having a great time. We going forward, back and forth. When we get to the end of the show, they say, Monique, you want to play a game? Well, I want to play. I said, sure, sugar. Let's play a game. And it's a game called Would You Rather.
No.
Okay? Now,
Monique, you should have said, I'm too old for this game.
Wait a minute. We're having fun, baby. Right? We're having a good time, Shannon. Okay. It's the sister there and there's 2 other guys. We're having a great time. It's a beautiful Black unity cookout.
Okay.
We're having a good time.
Okay.
Would you say your wife was your family? Is that considered family?
Yeah.
So your husband is considered family,
Absolutely.
right? Okay. So here we go. They said, Monique, we want to play a game of Would You Rather. Let's go. Would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or Corinne Steffens without one?
Really, Monique?
Now, as y'all are watching right now who haven't heard this story, y'all going, they doing the same thing in the studio. They going, okay. That is exactly what happened. Now, I said to the team, how does that uplift our community? I said, sister, and her name is Jasmine, how could you ask another sister that? Well, we just planned. I said, tell me the joke in that because I don't know what you're insinuating.
Damn.
Then you're involving people that have nothing to do with nothing. Like, what are y'all doing? So I said, I'm going to call my brother. DL. I'm going to call my brother. I call DL Hughley on the phone. I say, hey, baby. Yeah.
Huh?
That's how he responds. Yeah.
Did he know it was you?
Yes, because they called him to let him know Monique's going to be calling.
Right.
Like this, it was getting crazy.
Right.
I'm like, just let me get on the phone with my brother, right?
Yeah.
Hey, DL, yeah. I said, listen, I just got off the phone with your team, and they wanted to play this game, Would You Rather? And it was like, stupid. Like, asking me about my husband and Lee Daniels and Corinne Steffens, and his exact words, well, that's how we do it. I said, DL, how does that uplift our community? And again, I don't know what y'all trying to insinuate, but brother, what you doing? Like I said, that's just how we do it. So it is what it is. Now, it got so ugly that my attorney had to send a cease and desist. So it never aired. So we have, like, when Cat Williams talk and people, truth tellers talk, we have receipts to everything we're saying. That's how that whole thing got started. Okay? It's family.
Damn,
My
she
husband is
recorded
my
that too?
family.
Yeah.
Now, you babies that are really good with this internet, through the years, I've watched DL speak ill of me. Through the years. I never knew DL Hughley had a problem with me. But when Cat said they all a group, he forgot to put DL Hughley in the group. Mm-hmm. Through the years, I was bitter. I was dangerous with what I was doing, saying that it was inequality. My husband didn't know what he was doing. This went on through the years. I was unloved, all of these things. And I said to myself, I'ma see you. I'ma see you. I didn't go on nobody's show. I didn't say nothing to nobody, but I knew the time would come that I would see him. We were scheduled to do a show in Los Angeles. I was the headliner of that show. His name was on it, then his name came off. I didn't question it, but I knew I'ma see him, right?
Eventually.
Okay, now we have a show in Detroit. Contractually, I was the headliner. DL Hughley posted a memo. Now, when you signed your deal for the Ravens, did you sign a contract or a memorandum?
I signed a contract.
You see how you say that? Like anybody that knows good business, you sign. The memo is saying this is what I would like,
right?
But the contract is saying this is what it is. Okay?
Yes.
He put out a memo to our community, and that touched me a little different because I was saying, why would you lie to our babies? Because now they're thinking if they send somebody a memo, that's what they're supposed to get. Mm-hmm. Okay? I was contractually signed to go as the headliner.
Right. I mean, you go last.
DL Hughley didn't come into the building until 9:30. Now, contractually, I said I have to be on stage by 9:30 because if the show starts at 8, I refuse to keep an audience waiting.
Right.
That is disrespectful to the audience.
Correct.
When I went out on that stage, Shannon, I made sure everything I said, he heard me. Because now you're here and I'm going to say it to you. Mm-hmm. And I said some things on that stage that I said he was cowardly.
IRS e-file is open.
Get real juicy around here, man.
Snap your W-2
Oh, this
and
comedian
file your
beef.
taxes 100% free.
Shit is wild.
Roughly 37% of taxpayers
beefing over
qualify.
crazy stuff.
1040 and limited
This
credit
man want to go last. She want to go first. He won't come in until later. Like, what's really going on? Fuck.
Red Bull gives you wings.
And some folks said, how could you say that? How could you do that? And then I posted some things to say, this is what I meant. See, you came after my husband. And when you had a chance to fix it, when you had a chance to say, Mo, my bad, you know, we don't even get down like that.
Right.
You told me it is what it is. And until he's brave enough and courageous enough to say, this is what really happened, y'all. Y'all have never known me to be no shit starter. Folks ain't never known me to go over and kick a sandwich out of somebody's hand that's hungry. But what people do know is, if you kick me, damn if I ain't gonna kick you back.
Right.
Because that's fair play.
Right.
So there was one left out the pack. And when you have people that continually don't take accountability, that's why you see us in the state of affairs we're in.
I'm a firm believer, Mo, that everybody don't play the same. And someone once told me, what is joke to you is death to someone else.
What is joke? That's why we don't play with people's families.
No.
When we had the Monique show, the radio show, listen, you can't come on here and speak ill of no one because we don't play like that, because we know how this business works.
Right.
So when you allow that to happen, what do you think is going to come back your way? What do you think? And D.L. Hughley, please, no, brother, we still love you. Just take accountability for it. And we move forward.
I remember reading something about the situation in Detroit. I didn't know the depth of the magnitude of it. I remember reading something about a memo about, I guess it's an addendum that was added on, but the contract is the contract.
The contract is the contract. And what happens is, because of the messenger, it was easy to pile on. It was easy to pile on. And then when you have some of our black folk that go sit in front of a white man and speak ill of their people, I'm like, y'all, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we coming to that we're going to sit in front of this white man? I can't even say his name. I refuse. Everybody know who he is. We sit in front of him and we just let this man say any and everything about us, and then we go right in with him. Now see, that to me is dangerous. And y'all babies that's good with this little computer, don't take my word. You can just go through the years of this cat just running his mouth. And it's like, stop doing that.
Who's she talking
what
about?
are we saying to the babies coming behind us?
We're going to continue this, but I want to get into where you're from, the DMV.
Yeah.
Do you realize, like Chappelle, Martin, Tommy Davidson, Earthquake, yourself, what's in the soil in the DMV that got you guys? I mean, you've done television, stand up. All these guys have done television and stand up and are great at it. When you look at like Chappelle walked away from it and said, nah, I'm going to do my own thing because I'm not going to let you guys hold me hostage.
Yes.
But Martin still does television. Tommy Davidson doesn't do as much television. Quake is not in television, but he has all his gigs going on. When you look at the success that a Chappelle, Martin, Earthquake is having, and you say, well, hold on, ain't none of them guys win no Oscar. Ain't none of them guys did what I did in on the movie set. And they're having the commercial sense that they're having. That should be Mo.
If I was a white woman, do you know what my name would be?
Wealthy.
Melissa McCarthy.
Oh my goodness.
If I was a white woman, my name would be Melissa McCarthy. Same track record. 5-year sitcom and syndication. Same track record. The opportunities are not the same. So when you have, and as you read all of those things off, and you say, wait a minute, Mo, none of them have this, none of them have that, we get judged by a different stick. We get judged by a different stick. And then when I had people judging me, I'm like, you judging me by your yardstick. You've not done what I've done. And I say that humbly. You've not had the accomplishments that I had.
Right.
When I hear Brother D.L. Hughley say, with that Netflix special, I just accepted anything, whatever they gave me. These are not my words, they're his.
Right.
Well, that's how you do business. I'm not mad at you accepting anything.
Right.
Why are you mad at me saying I won't accept anything?
Right.
That's the difference. It's like people were judging me. I was hearing people, Shannon, okay, I didn't know we had so many tender people in our group.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had so many tender love I didn't know we had so many tender people, and I wouldn't want to be on the front line with these tender people where it's like, oh, I can't believe you said that. I can't. But is what I said the truth? Is what I said the truth? No, I didn't put no sugar on it.
Right.
It was shit.
Right.
And I didn't try to make it taste good. We got to stop running away from what is real, and we run into fantasy. And that's how come we keep staying where we sit.
Mo, before you became Monique that everybody has seen over the last 2-3 decades, what were some of the jobs that you had that you like, man, this ain't for me? I mean, this is just a holdover. This is just a bridge.
Every job I had, baby, it was special.
Was it?
Every job I had, baby.
You were the best at it.
Let me tell you something. I worked at the drive-thru in Popeyes. I worked in the drive-thru in Popeyes, and that was my microphone. Every time somebody came to that window, I was on stage. Welcome to Popeyes. My name is Monique. What would you like today? And they would say, hey, Monique, I'm Shannon. Hey, Shannon, how you doing, baby? What's your order? And you give me your order. And then I say, would you like a hot apple pie with that, Shannon? You say, you know what, Monique, I sure would. Come on around here, baby. Let me see you.
Oversold her.
Listen here, Popeyes, where my damn money? Cause I was a seller, baby. If you wanted a 2-piece, I gave you 4. You wasn't gonna lose no weight coming through my damn window, Shannon. That's why I ain't lost no damn weight. What I sold, I ate. If you got 2 pieces, I ate 2 of them. Welcome to Popeyes. Hey, baby, come on now.
So that was your microphone. That was the beginning of Monique because you was owning. Did you know that's what you were doing?
What I knew I was doing was walking in my dream. The microphone said it's possible. When I stood in my bathroom mirror and I wrapped the towel around me, and it didn't go all the way. I wasn't devastated, okay? I don't know if they just didn't have enough money to buy me a whole damn towel, but I would still stand there, and that was my gown.
Right.
And I would pick up that brush, and I would say, I would like to thank. So I've always seen it.
Did you always know that was Oscar always in the back of your mind? Did you always?
Oscar was never in my mind.
You just wanted to be in TV? You wanted to be in show business? What aspect did you want to do?
Turn right onto Western Avenue.
Damn, they're gonna make me watch this
ID
one.
Light in the all-electric ID4. Visit your Volkswagen dealer for 3.9% APR financing for 72 months on a new 2023 all-electric ID4.
Your money.
We gotta pause that because Lil Wayne be trying to like copyright.
To be famous. I loved what it looked like with people being famous. I didn't know to say, I want to be wealthy with the fame.
Right.
I didn't know to be specific to ask for it, but I wanted to be famous.
Who did you know that looked like Monique that was famous?
Oprah Winfrey. So do you see how far this relationship goes? Mm-hmm. That's who I knew that looked like me. See, when people always ask me about the Oscar, right? But no one ever asked me about the Image Award. No one ever said to me, what did it feel like when they called your name for the NAACP Image Award? And they were people that looked like me, right, because we put so much weight on that award that it's such an honor. And it's an honor for any award.
Right.
Not just that one, but as a little girl, I never watched the Oscars because nobody looked like me winning. So I was like, this is not for me, but when I watched the Image Award, baby, those people look like me.
Right.
The BET Awards, those people look like me. Mm-hmm. So I was honored the first time they called my name for an Image Award. When I tell you, Shannon, that night, baby, when they called this little fat girl name from Baltimore and the award goes to Monique, well, listen here. I got so good with them calling my name, and this is what had to humble me. You will get humbled, baby, when you just think they get ready to call your name. I had won it like 3 years in a row. This the 4th year.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, call my name again, Shay Shay. Let me situate myself in my chair.
Do I look good?
So here come the category.
Okay.
Hey, baby. The best actress in a sitcom. They named me, Tisha Campbell, and I cannot remember the other sisters, right? I know they get ready to say, and the award goes to Monique. So I got to, because I'm a big girl, you got to scoot up.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can be ready to push up, right? So I scoots up and get my gown together. And the winner is Tisha Campbell. I said, all right, girl, go on and get that. That humbled my ass and sat right back down. But it was never the Oscar for me, baby.
Right.
It was never the Oscar.
What the hell
for me.
Tisha Campbell get an Oscar for?
Stand-up happened on a dare. My brother came home one day and said he went down to the comedy club to do open mic night. And he did so bad. He said they was booing me, but I was 6 beers in, so I thought the booze was applause. So my boy had to say, man,
nah, bro,
this is stinking, right? So we cleaning out the pool. And he says, I said, if I was there, I would have said, and that was 30 minutes of what I would have said. Then he said, I dare you to go down next Wednesday and do open mic night. It was a club called Burke's in Baltimore. I went down that next Wednesday, Shannon, and I got a standing ovation. And from that moment to this moment.
Were you hooked?
I was. I was. It is nothing like, and I'm sure you can appreciate it, understand, when you walk out on that football field and you walk and you smell it and you walking into it and you, that little boy in you says, I'm here. I'm still there. That little girl in me is still saying, I'm here, but I'm a grown woman.
Right.
And I'm saying now that I'm here, you got to pay for it fairly. If not, I'm good. I just have to walk away.
How different is that Monique? Not just in age, but how different is that Monique to the one that's sitting right here on this couch?
Oh, she grew up.
That one was naive. Were you ever naive?
Yes. 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 When you first come to Hollywood, Shannon.
Damn.
File 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of tax.
We got too many commercials in this thing.
That's me. At 1-800-CONTACTS, we're here for people like Dwayne, whose eyes are as particular as his morning routine. Don't worry.
I think like every 10, 15 minutes, maybe.
And I got a show called The Parkers. After I was in Hollywood less than 90 days.
Wow.
90 days. And you have agents and you have managers and you have attorneys, right? And they're telling you all the good things. And everybody always said to me, you want to get the syndication.
Yes.
You want to get the syndication. Once you get the syndication, you work because you want to work.
Right.
Right?
So syndication is what, 5 years, 100 episodes?
Syndication is 100 episodes.
Okay.
Right? So that's all I knew. I didn't know to ask to be an executive producer of my own image.
Oh.
And nobody told me. I didn't know to ask for that. I didn't know to ask for, after the 3rd year of being on a successful sitcom, that you could say, I now need a bonus. I didn't know to even negotiate that, and no one told me to negotiate that.
They're definitely not going to tell you.
All they kept saying
That's on
is,
your agent, baby.
when you get the syndication, when you get the syndication, when you get the syndication. Well, 3 years in, the Parkers was in syndication. Now, no one told me that. You learn it once you open your eyes, because now I'm going around the country doing promos. The Parkers is coming on at 4 o'clock in your city. The Parkers will be on at 2:30 in Sacramento. Y'all make sure y'all watch the Parkers. It's coming on. I'm not knowing I'm promoting the show in syndication. No one told me that. All we're doing is saying if we get to 5 years, we got to 5 years. 110 episodes. Me and a beautiful young lady named Countess Vaughn, who was my baby to this day. We had the Laverne and Shirley law, right? You're supposed to be equal.
Yeah.
Once we got to the 5 years, our attorney, my attorney, and the agents said, oh, the Parkers made money. Y'all gonna get paid from the Parkers. It's made money. Okay. Years go by. By 2004, the Parkers, we went off the air in 2004, right? In 5 years, by 2009, the Parkers had made $800 million.
You're like, oh yeah.
Stay with me.
Money.
Money.
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
Money.
Hey, yeah. All right. Okay, because we're waiting to get this money standing. Oh, check is coming. We get a call. We got to do an audit, you know, and everything. Okay. And that was in 2009 that it made $800 million. Okay. We're now in 2024. And they're trying to convince Countess Vaughn and I that that show made no money.
No.
They're trying to convince us that a show that cost roughly $65 million to make. In our last year of shooting the Parkers, Countess Vaughn and I made $55,000 apiece.
That's it? How much were you making an episode?
$55,000 an episode.
Okay, so how many episodes did you shoot that last year?
5 years. That last year we shot 22 episodes.
Okay.
We made $55,000 apiece at the end of a top-rated sitcom.
Hold on, time out.
That's 1.1 million. What the
Are
fuck?
you saying you made $55,000 for 22 episodes, or are you saying you made $55,000 per episode? Because I want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly.
Let me make sure you hear me correctly. We did 22 episodes.
Yes.
We were paid $55,000 per episode.
Okay.
For 22 shows.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
That's on a hit show.
Right.
That is unheard of.
Yeah.
Because we're two black women. I don't know to fight for it.
Right.
Countess is a baby in this business. So I don't know to say that
we should be making $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 an episode.
So now today, y'all want to convince us that that show made no money? That show has made over $2 billion, and I'm guesstimating. And you want to convince us that our percentage, we made no money? We can't allow that to happen.
Right.
That's why we're fighting. That's why we're saying, no, guys, we can't sit on our hands like that.
Right.
You know how many of us, when you watch Good Times, when you watch The Jeffersons, when you watch Sanford and Son, whose family is benefiting from our images? Because the damn show ain't ours.
Wow.
You see why I fight the way I fight?
Yeah.
Because if it does not make sense, you have to explain it. And I'll go back to Tyler Perry. You know why Tyler Perry don't want to talk to my husband? Because he can't talk around him. My husband don't care nothing about that man's money. We don't care nothing about your title. We care about your character, brother. We care about your integrity.
And what you gonna pay? What you gonna pay?
How you gonna make it right? How you gonna make it right? Because if I am your Aunt Mary, and I really belong to you, as I really belong to you right now, Shannon, I am your sister.
Mm-hmm.
And you heard something that was wrong.
Yeah. How can Tyler Perry make it right, Mo? Give you a job, give you a sitcom, say, Mo, okay, you know what, Mo? Sitcom, you're gonna be the executive producer, I'm gonna be a co-executive producer, you're gonna do the sitcom.
If somebody cost you, Shannon Sharp, millions of dollars,
yes,
do you want to be compensated for what they cost you for a lie and a rumor?
Yeah.
So at that time, I was making roughly between $2 and $3 million a year.
Right.
I sat in that for over a decade, like 12 years.
Right.
You do the math. Over a lie that he admitted that he told. Not something I'm making up.
Mm-hmm.
You admitted that, brother. How do you make that right?
Wow. This is new.
Yeah, switch
She
to
just need a new
H&R
agent.
Doing my own taxes
That's
like
some
a
work.
champ. You can connect live with real.
I'm sure you got lawyers. Have you had a conversation?
Well, what happens is when you take somebody at their word, time. We don't need to go to no lawyers, Tyler. You know what you did. Just make it right. And if he doesn't make it right, what will our community do? What will our community say? Because today it's me, tomorrow it's you. Then what?
Yeah.
We've got to hold him accountable. What Cat say? You got to tell Tyler Perry, come on now. You got to do it, Shannon. You got to tell him.
You got to tell it. Mo, obviously, when you do stand-up, you go to a lot of different cities, a lot of different clubs.
Yes.
It's a lot of different promoters. Has everybody always been on the up and up with Monique, or did you try? Sometimes people try to take advantage. You're female. You're black. You're heavy.
You're not going to say that like Mr. from Color Purple. You're black. You're ugly. You're not gonna do that, shit.
But you know, people would try to take advantage of anyone, but seemingly like us, their team were willing to take more advantage of
I've
us.
had to tell the promoters, call the police. Because either they're going to come get you or me.
They're trying to hold up on the money?
Call the police. Because, and this was like $75. Can you imagine? $75, like, you know where we come from.
Yeah.
If somebody gets you for $25, that's a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Imagine 25 million.
Yeah.
We've seen people lose their life for $25.
For sure.
Imagine somebody getting you for millions. How you supposed to feel? Would you let it go?
Nah, hell no.
Right. So when people say, Mo, just let it go.
Yeah, but it's easy for people to say let it go when they haven't lost anything.
Come on, baby.
It's easy to say.
Come on.
But when you've lost, how do you? It's kind of like you know, hey, someone should just get over it. You can't tell somebody how to grieve, how long to grieve, because you're not the one that's hurting.
They didn't do it to you. They didn't do it to you. It was done. And I will say this right now on your show. I still love y'all. We still love y'all.
You love more, they make it right.
My husband, okay, say that again because
You love y'all more, y'all make it right.
Yes, indeed. Okay, I fix him a pound cake. my husband would always say, Mama, we ain't calling nobody out. We calling them up. And if we continue to call us up on our doings that are not right, we get better as a people. Like, we get better. Do you know why things were able to happen like they happened on The Color Purple?
Why you think? Oh, you talk about the rebate. You talk about what?
I'm talking about the 7th one.
Yeah.
The one that just came out.
Right.
Right. Isn't that the 7th edition?
It's like the musical with Fantasia and Taraji, right?
Right,
Okay,
right. That one with all our beautiful sisters.
Yes.
You know why they're able to treat us like they treat us? How are you handpicked in your audition?
No, if you handpicked, you don't audition.
I want you to say that again, Shannon, because people don't understand how deep this goes. When I watch my sister say it was an honor to be handpicked,
Right.
then why ever would you audition?
Yeah.
And the moment, in my opinion, the moment she auditioned, they knew we got them. We can treat them any kind of way we want to treat them. We can do them any kind of way.
But why would you want to?
Why?
Just because you can, that doesn't mean you should.
But they did. But they did. How do you handpick me and then mistreat me?
Yes.
And then I got to send a letter to you about the mistreatment that you gave me. That's why they're able to get away with it. That's why when I do interviews, oftentimes, or these conversations, people are too afraid to even address it because they don't want to be caught up like, oh, I don't know. When you say, wait a minute, no, that's the truth.
Right.
I heard it. And I don't want my character to be on the line as I'm being a person sitting there asking people about their lives and then not be able to stand in what I've heard.
Right.
That's why it made so much, it was important for us. It was important for us to get you that audio. I don't want you to take my word.
Yeah.
And anything I've said on this couch right now, that don't take my word. Ask those people. Ask those people.
Right.
And see what happens. And then maybe after this come out, they're going to label me again. She's bitter. She's not loved.
Yeah. You done got 30, 40 million of my dollars. Yeah, I'm bitter. The average person gonna be bitter.
Okay, I just want to look in your camera. Okay, and here's the thing. Because I got a king at home, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter.
You just want what's right.
We just determined.
Right.
Life is too good to be bitter, but we're determined for you to take accountability.
Right.
That's all.
Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. And right now,
I don't gamble,
all users
Shannon.
get $100
I don't gamble,
off
bro.
when they buy big game ticket with code Vegas100. They're obsessed with finding ways to
Can't
help
even
you
skip
save
past
money
this
on
part.
tickets. Game Time has deal on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. It's the place to help find last-minute seats, Find exclusive flash deals and sponsor deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concert, comedy, theater. And the Game Time Guarantee means you'll always find the best price. If you find the tickets in the same section, in same row for less, Game Time will credit you up to 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time right now. Game Time users get $100 off big game tickets with code VEGAS. Terms apply. Just download the Game Time app. Use code VEGAS 100 for $100
Wonder how much you
off
got paid
big
for that.
game ticket. Or if you're not going to the game, use code Shay Shay for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. When did Mo get a first big break in comedy?
The Apollo Theater.
Bruh, I just watched the commercial, dog. Damn.
And the sister that stay out front that had the jerry curl, if she liked you, everybody liked you.
Right.
If she did not like you, nobody liked you. And when I saw that woman stand to her feet, baby,
good.
I was good. There were so many moments.
Were you nervous to go on Apollo? Because, you know, everybody know about the Apollo.
You're nervous every time.
You still get nervous to go on?
Every time, baby. And not the nervous when you're scared. It's just that, like, oh, I get to do it again.
Yeah.
Like when you go out to the field, it's
Yes.
like, oh, it's that.
Mm-hmm.
I still get that, yeah.
I mean, to hear you speak and to see, like, how passionate, you're a very, very passionate person about everything.
I love us. I love us. Like, when I say I love my people, Shannon. I love us. I love everybody.
Right.
But my people, I love us. So when I speak on things, it's not to drop shade, mess, or tea. I'm too damn grown for that. I'm
Right.
56 and a grandmother. Who got time for that? But I say it because will it make us better?
Right.
Will it make us come to the table and say, you know what do we really leave for the babies that's coming behind us? That means something to me. When I talked about them damn bonnets, let me tell you something.
Yeah, you said, hey, come on, can we, like, when we come out the house, can we not have the bonnets on? Can we not have the pajamas on? Can we not have the house shoes going in
The whole damn Halloween costume. That's a Halloween costume that you wear on Halloween. And I am passionate about that because what is the representation that we're giving to the little girls that's walking behind you? What is the representation that we're giving to our black men that's walking beside us? What is the reputation that we're giving? And when they would say to me, oh, Monique, you don't know what they going through. We always been going through something.
Yes.
We was going through something when we got off the damn boat. We've been going through something.
True.
But once you lose the pride and the dignity of what you feel like you look like, then we've lost. So I wasn't backing down on that. It's like, no, y'all, we owe ourselves that. We owe ourselves that.
How hard is it for you to love some in the community when you know they don't love you back?
That's a good one, Shannon. Okay. That's a good one, because sometimes I be in the bathroom having conversations with the ones that don't love me back, but I still love them because I just know they're misinformed. We've
bullshit.
been conditioned in such a way in our community to eat each other up and spit each other out. We've been conditioned. Well, I don't like her, and I love my people.
But why?
Why do I love my people?
No, I'm saying a lot of times, for me, Mo, is that I don't take someone's word because you can only judge a person through personal experience.
Yes.
You don't know our audio guy. But to say, oh, Mo, I don't like him. And then for you to say, well, I don't like him either because Shannon didn't like him. You have no personal experience with him. So why would you dislike him? People want us to dislike somebody because they've had a negative experience with that said person.
And we buy into it. We buy into it. Because this one don't like her. And then you say, why don't you like him? This is one thing my husband said to me one time. He said, Mama, there's not a person on the face of this earth that I dislike. I may dislike what they do, but I don't dislike the person. And it took me a minute to understand it, because I'm like, I don't like their ass. I don't like what they did. I don't like their ass. I don't like their mama. I don't like none of them. But he said, no, there are things you've done that I dislike, but I don't dislike you.
Right.
And once we can get past that, then we even grow to be better.
Right.
So what you're seeing right now, Shannon, is Mrs. Sidney Hicks, that my husband has set me down and had conversations with me and really taught me how to be a lady. Because people in this business know, if you put me sideways, baby, you beat that boy over the head with that tray in the cafeteria, right? I will cuss your ass out in ways that they wish I beat him with a tray. And he had to say, Mama, they won't hear you.
Right.
They don't hear you. Once you go there, so he's had to teach me how to really be a queen.
Right.
Really know my worth, really understand my value. And I'm grateful for that. And I used to say to my husband, I wish I could put you in a bottle and shake you up and let Black women take a sip to know what it's like to truly be loved by a Black man that is a king. When I tell you, Shannon, it's a love that is unexplainable and unimaginable. That's why I can't be broken. And I say that humbly. I can't be broken because I got a king at home. I got a king right there that when all this shit went crazy, that man took me by my hands and said, don't you know we good? And I believed him. And right now to this day, I believe him. And when you have that type of strength, it's hard to bend over. You can't.
Right.
We all like to shop around for the biggest value at the best
Monique
price.
might be crazy.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could do this?
You said that when you were at your lowest, he lifted you to your highest.
You better know your homework, baby. I'm proud of you. We got toast on that one. You better know your damn homework. I said that when I was at my lowest, he loved me like I was at my best. And I was mentally ill because you're in this business. Everybody thinks you are the hero. Consideration can be thrown out the window. Patience can be thrown out the window. Because when you get home, you believe that I'm the breadwinner. And what I say is what goes. And this is what it is. And this is my third marriage, though my first. Because this is the first time I've known my place as a Black man's wife. And there's a place. And we get so caught up in that word. What you mean your place? What you mean? Without him saying it, his actions showed me that he was the leader of that household. Without him saying it, I knew I was dealing with a king.
And he doesn't have to constantly remind you of it.
He's never. When we first got together, I sat at the head of that table. Comfortably. There was never a conversation about it. Till one day I knew I was in the wrong place. Wow. And I moved to the side of the table. And he sat at the head. We never had a conversation about it. It just happened because it was supposed to. So when people question my husband and why is he there, you would hope you would have one like that. I remember our beautiful sister Tiffany Haddish did an interview with GQ magazine. And this, in my humble opinion, is where we keep throwing each other under the bus. You're doing an interview with GQ magazine, and I'm assuming the journalist was a white person. And the conversation turned to Monique. And she said, well, I don't do business like Monique do business, and I'm glad I don't have that husband of hers.
But she don't know your husband.
And when I saw that, it's like, Tiffany, if you had a husband like mine, you may not have 2 DUIs. If you had a husband like mine, you may not be caught up in what looks like you could have been grooming a child. And I say all of that with no judgment.
I thought she said that she want to uplift people.
Having a husband
She's been
like
tearing down
mine,
people all
you open
episode.
up the door. And I'm saying to you, if you had one like mine, you may not sit in these positions that you can't explain the next day.
Right.
Or it's a hard way to go. So once again.
Well, she doesn't even have a husband. let alone like yours.
Well, damn it now. You said it. I sipped on that, Shannon. That was a sip. That required a sip.
You, Moesha. How did that come about?
Moesha?
Yeah. You had an audition for Moesha, right?
No, sir.
Hold on.
No, sir.
You didn't get on Moesha?
I did. I say this not to be, but I never auditioned.
What?
I've never auditioned. They've called, I think I thought I was auditioning for a Burger King commercial, but what it really was the agency I was with at the time just trying to blow smoke.
Right.
You know, making me think I'm doing something.
Right.
But to audition, when I first came to Hollywood, I told this guy named, I believe his name is Mark Unray, and I told AJ Johnson, and I told a sister named Kimberly Brooks. I said, I'm not auditioning. And they was like, okay, like your fat ass. You not auditioning? Okay, fat ass, we'll see. That's what they did. They laughed. But I meant that. I'm like, what you see is what you get. I am not going to, especially now. Especially now, why ever would I audition when I've got the highest award that you can get in this business called acting? And why would I do that?
Right.
Because once I do that, I devalue me. If you can't look at my work and say, that's what we want, then no, thank you.
Right.
Like they'll call, they'll send emails and they'll say, what's Monique availability? None of your business. I don't know you. So you're just going to send an email and want to know what's my availability. I'm offer only. I am offer only. So again, we got to be careful what we say yes to. What Sidney Poitier say? It's not how many times you say yes. It's how many times you say no. And the moment our baby auditioned, they got set up for no trailers. They got set up for no food. They got set up for no drivers because now in their mind, they think you're desperate.
Right.
So when Oprah does the one-on-one with Taraji and she begins to run down her credits, the great Taraji P. Henson, then why ever would you allow the audition to happen? Why ever would you allow that? Why wouldn't you go to that studio and say,
she doesn't have to.
She doesn't have to. I handpicked them. So either our sister's not as powerful as we believe she is, or either there's not the concern that she tries to make it look like it is.
It's crazy,
Nothing like a little confidence boost to help ease you back into the dating scene. That also includes having a smile.
But you turn a couple of appearances on Moesha into the Parkers.
This is how the Parkers happen. Normally you shoot a pilot.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And the pilot, they decide whether or not they're going to do the show from the pilot. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Countess Vaughn and I, when I go to a meeting with a guy named Larry Little at Big Ticket Television, and at the time, my agent was a woman named Susie Unger. They're trying to sell a talk show.
Yes.
We have a meeting. He says, listen, I don't need her to do a talk show, but if she can act, she has her own show. My agent said, of course she can act. Well, she didn't know if I can act or not, but I said, damn it, of course I can act. They brought Countess Vaughn into that meeting. That was at 1 o'clock. By that evening, they were negotiating the deal for the Parkers. The way they introduced the character, because they always talked about Kim's mother on Moesha, they introduced Nikki Parker in an episode of Moesha, which was the pilot spinoff to the Parkers. There was never an audition. There was never any of that.
So now all of a sudden, you got your own sitcom.
Shut up. Come on now.
You go home and you like, from Bmore, Maryland, from what I went through to this.
Yes.
Are you looking around like, damn it, I knew this. I knew this day was gonna happen.
Yes. 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 And you know how you know something as a child? Like, did you know you were gonna play professional
Yeah, absolutely.
football? I knew it, Shannon. I knew it. Like, I knew as a child, and I say this humbly, I knew the world would know my name. Like, I knew that.
Right.
So once you in it, you be just like, I still can be in a supermarket and somebody say, Monique, is that you? And I still can tear up because I'm like, I'm here.
Right.
I remember when I got my first parking lot at the Parkers. I didn't know I had a parking space. And they would send out emails to say, if you're here for the Parkers, park outside the gate. That's how naive I was. When you asked me, was I naive? So I would park outside the gate. Even though I'm one of the stars of a show, baby, they said if you with the Parker, because there's no 101. There's no Hollywood 101. There's no introduction. They just say go and you're supposed to get it. So I would walk across the parking lot all the way over to the set, to the stage, till a brother named William Tripp was in a golf cart one day. He said, Mo, what you doing? I said, going to the set. He said, why are you walking across the parking lot? I said, oh, because they said if you with the Parkers, you got to park outside the gate. That brother laughed, but it was a brotherly laugh. He said, come here, baby, let me show you something. And I got on that golf cart, and he drove me to my parking space that had my name on it. That was a moment for me. Like I'm pulling up to a studio, and that's my name. That's the little fat black girl from Baltimore, Maryland, who was in the slow class. That's the little fat black girl from Baltimore, Maryland, who didn't have a lot of friends. A lot of people didn't want to deal with me. But that's my name on that parking space. Now, do you see why I fight like I fight? Because it's all possible. But what happens is we then lose ourselves in the possibility of what we're getting.
So all this time she didn't know she had her own parking space?
To lose it. So
That's
all
wild.
the principles, all the morals, all your values, they
Somebody
don't go
lying.
away. You just push them to the side. Because you know what it's like not to have gas money. So I'll just, you know, I just go ahead and do that a little bit. My soul won't let me do that.
Why did you want to become famous? You asked me earlier, did I know that I was going to play in the NFL? And I told you yes, because I wanted to play in the NFL because it was going to get my grandmother and my family into a situation they probably would have never enjoyed without it.
Come on.
That was my driving force. That was all I thought about, Mo. Given your family situation and what transpired, why did Mo want to be famous so bad?
I'm a little fat black girl, baby. And ask another fat black girl. We fight for that attention. Because you wasn't the one picked on the playground to play kickball.
Right.
You wasn't the one picked for the spelling bee. You wasn't the one picked for this. You wasn't the one picked for that. So I was like, one day, I'm sure you growing up, you had your challenges.
Yes.
You were a dark-skinned man.
Yeah.
There was a time you stuttered.
Yeah,
I'm
you know,
sure.
I wasn't always popping, Mo, now that you brought it up.
Let's talk about it, Shay Shay.
It was the elder barges, you remember that?
Talk about it. Your hair wasn't curly. Your skin was black.
Yeah, man.
Okay?
Yeah, now that you brought it up, I wasn't always
what
popping.
that is. So now to be that. Now to be that.
Yeah.
Now you got to be careful. Because you remember the time when she told you, no, I don't want to go out on a date with old Black Shannon.
Yeah, you know.
Let me talk to her right now. Let me talk to your ass that wouldn't go out with Black Shannon. Now you wish you would have went out with Black Shannon that stuttered. Okay, you wish you would have went out with black stuttering Shannon Sharp's ass. Now look at him. He got the Shay Shay show. I bet her ass up tough. I've been there. I've been there. So we understand it. You know, you understand that drive. You understand that thing in you that says, I won't let nobody stop me. Now, my drive wasn't that I wanted to get my family out of poverty because I've always grown up in a middle-class environment. So it wasn't that we were dirt poor, you know, we didn't have no whole lot, but I didn't look at it as we were in poverty.
Right.
For me, I just wanted to...
Hey, what's up there? Oh, I switched to H&R Block. Doing my own taxes online.
I wanted the world to know me. And then once I had a son, right? I was very young when I had my first son. I didn't want him to have to go to a college because that was all that my parents could afford. I wanted him to be able to do whatever he wanted to do. And there was a sacrifice in that, right? Because when you're trying to go get it, you're missing this right here.
Oh, you miss a lot.
The nurturing, you miss all of that.
Yes.
So, you know, all of that had to be dealt with. So now with this group, with my second set of children, I'm a different mother than I was then. So my whole thing is, even right now, we want to make sure that when we leave here, our babies are good.
Right.
And their babies are good. And had Tyler Perry not told that lie, we would be on our way to that. And I know people saying, why she keep going back to that? I'm going to keep going back to that shit, Shannon Sharp, till he takes accountability for it.
You said your first son.
Yes.
That you're trying to get it. But it robbed you of a lot of things of a mother-son relationship.
It did.
And so you made sure not to make the mistake this time around. What's your relationship like? Is he resentful of that?
We're still very much separated.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where you have to pray to the universe and say, let time do the healing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Right.
That's it. Let time do that healing. It may heal it in time and it may not.
Right.
And that's something that we as parents have to say, listen,
right.
I've done what I could do. I've taken accountability for it. Now it's up to you.
Right.
That's like when somebody's saying, Shannon, I want to apologize to you. Now it's up to you.
Whether or not to accept it.
Whether or not to, but once I give it to you, I've done my part. And don't apologize like no punk. I'm just sorry for everything. That gets your ass out of it. No, break it down. Let's go bit by bit so that way we know you understand the offense that you've done.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying, because I've had to do that.
Right.
When I tell you I was so out of line and out of order when I first got with my husband, so out of order and out of line. And this has been my best friend since 10th grade. Since we were 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He came to the other weddings. Okay?
What?
It was like my brother. This man, he was like my brother.
He been out hustling you for a minute, Mo.
You know, he wasn't. That's why it's so beautiful, because we were like, we had a place together. He would see my boyfriend, I see his girlfriend, you know. Then
you
he
didn't
might
feel some type of way?
This was my brother. This was literally my brother. And then if it wasn't my boyfriend, it might be another little fella.
Yeah.
But, you know, he was like my brother. We were brother and sister.
Right.
So the way it happened.
Yes.
It was so pure.
Tell me, and that's what I want to know now. He came to, you say, came to weddings, you saw him have girlfriends. I don't know if he was married or not before
nope,
you.
Never been married.
Ooh, 1 hour left, man.
How did
1 hour
I
left.
got to know this. Because Hallmark need to do a story
Baby girl,
on this.
we got time. We got time. We good on time? Absolutely. I want you to say that again, and I don't want Hallmark, but okay, because this story is spicy, and I don't know if Hallmark can handle the spice of the story. So we've always been like brother and sister, right? He was the one I would call after a show when I was staying at a motel. And I'd be like, yo, they got me in this motel and niggas outside and everything. I'm scared. He'd be like, but one day you're going to be on the inside. This is the same guy that we was going to the, like our little farmer's market in Baltimore. And I had a comedy club called Monique's in Baltimore. And the girl had on a Monique's t-shirt. And he says, one day they know you only in Baltimore, but one day they're going to know you all around the world. That's the same guy that when we step off of a plane in London together, and the guy says, my wife knows I fancy you. And we went back to that moment coming out of that store in Baltimore, where one day they'll know you all over the world. So he always made life right for me. But it was my brother, right? And I remember one night when I thought Gerald Levert was my boyfriend. And let me be clear, I thought he was my boyfriend. I was never his girlfriend, right? But in my mind, you know, we'll take it somewhere, right? So I'm in my feelings, because I like this little teddy bear, right? But the teddy bear didn't like...
It wasn't reciprocated.
Okay, all right, not the way I wanted it to be, right? So I call up my best friend. And I'm saying I'm mad. He said, all right, he said, listen, it's all good. When you come home, you know, let's just hang out, right? And when I went home, I was doing the BET Awards.
Right.
And I had a big party at my house.
Yeah.
And the next day I was supposed to go to Essence for the Essence Festival. So that night at the house, my house, the outside is packed. Ain't nobody throw a Hollywood party, Shannon Sharp, like Monique threw a Hollywood.
You thought
I had every race, every nationality, everything you thought could be at a party, and everybody was just
having a great time.
A great time, right? So he's at the party, and he's very reserved, very reserved cat. So I grabbed his hand and said, come on, let's go dancing. And we go out on the dance floor and have a great time. After that, I'm like, all right, I got to start packing to get ready to go to the Essence Festival. So we go upstairs and I take my shower. Well, it's nothing for him to see me naked because we were roommates,
right?
So nothing. So he says, when you come back from Essence, I want to talk with you. So I said, okay. So he went to kiss me on my cheek, but the kiss was half lip. It was like here.
Yeah, okay. See it, sleep with it.
You see it?
Sleep with it.
It was right there. It was right there, right? Now, I tried to turn the whole mouth, but it came right there. Right? Because I felt something different. I felt it. And I was like, and then after it happened, we both almost had a feeling of like, we did something wrong. Like this, like that's my. So we didn't address it.
Right.
I came back from Essence Festival.
What you want to talk about?
I went to his place.
Okay.
He fixed dinner.
Oh, okay.
He fixed dinner and read this amazing poem that he wrote. That was almost 19 years ago.
Uh-oh.
We've never been apart since then.
Wow.
We've never been apart since then. And I am more in love with that man today than I was when we first got married because I didn't really know what I was getting. I knew I was getting somebody I could trust because I just needed somebody that I could just try, like my brother stole from me. I just needed somebody that I could just trust, and I didn't want to keep on having randoms.
Right.
Because that gets old after a while.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you're just trying to fill the void.
Right.
And men go through that as well as women. You just get tired of So I knew I could trust him, but I didn't know he was the king that he was, Shannon. I didn't know that I would be raised. And there are women that have a problem with me saying that, and I will not back down from it. I did not know that that man would take me from a 15-year-old mentality. Even though I'm a star, I'm famous, I got a few dollars in my bank account, but still had that little girl mentality. You can't correct me, you can't say nothing to me, you can't check me, you can't do none of that. Still had that way. That man was able to shut all of that down and grow me up. So I got a great one. I won't even say a good one, I got a great one.
You got a great one.
Yeah.
You got a lover, a best friend, a manager, a husband, a confidant.
Yes.
A protector.
Yeah. You're saying it, and it seems like people have a hard time getting it, but that's exactly who Sidney Hicks is. He's all of those things.
When the Queens of Comedy, was that because of Samora, Adele Gibbons, Miss Laura? Tell me about the Queens of Comedy. We hear about the Kings of Comedy all the time.
Tell me about Queens of Comedy.
I was not an original Queen of Comedy. And when I came on, right, I was so honored to be in the presence of 3 of the greatest female comedians to ever do it. And when I tell you hands down, them sisters are incredible because they've paved ways for people. And when we got together, Shannon.
We're the only car maker in the world that has a fleet of well over 1 million cars on the road.
It was non-stop history making because we were selling out in ways that were unheard of, right? And I can remember our first show, because I was not initially the headliner of the Queens of Comedy. Some more was. And I remember our first show, and this is why I appreciate her, because she knows a great show. Like, you have some comedians that feel like, you can't follow me. I tore the stage down and it's over and you can't. And I felt that way one time in my life, and that was with D.L. Hughley, right? But she was the headliner of the show. And we were in Atlanta. And it was one of those shows where the basket for me was this big. Like, I don't care what I said. It was just, right? Samore is one of the funniest.
Yeah.
It's just our energies are different. I'm liable to run across the stage. Just the energy is different.
Right.
And that night, the energy was just different. It was not that she was less funny. Just the energy was different. And this is why I love that sister. She walked off the stage that night after she closed the show. She walked by me and she said, "You headline from now on." And she kept walking. We never discussed it. We never discussed it. It takes, for me, it takes a person saying, "We want a great show."
Right.
We just want a great show.
Correct.
And that's what that was. Miss Laura taught me how to warm up food on a damn iron with a towel. She said, "Bitch, I've been to prison. We don't have no microwave and we're going to eat these buffalo wings. Flip that iron over and wrap that Reynolds wrap up and cover it with that towel." Baby, them buffalo wings were so damn good. But did we get treated fairly? Hell to the no. No, we did not. There were times on that Queens of Comedy tour that I had to, even on that tour, I had to say some things because it wasn't fair. And the way we were being treated, it was not fair. There were times when money wasn't right. And I remember the first date for the Queens of Comedy. And I got a call from my agent. And she says to me, "No more C&D promoters. You're in the big leagues now. Walter Latham wants you to be a part of the Queens of Comedy." Okay. Thank you. No problem.
Because he's the executive producer of the Kings of Comedy, correct?
Right. This going to be a blast.
Yeah.
The first check I got. Let me sip before I tell you.
Hell, I might meditate me a sip too.
My banker called me up and said, "Monique, this check is no good." I said, "Excuse me?"
The money jump funny?
Sip again. God damn it.
I might need a little something strong. Hold on.
Damn it, Shannon. "The money's no good." I said, "What you say?" She said, "Monique, this check is no good." So I immediately got on the phone with my agent. And I said, "Let me tell you something about C&D promoters. My money always good. Now I need you to get Walter Latham on the phone. Walter Latham, from here on out, I will only accept cash from you moving forward. You have 2 hours to get the money into my account. If not, take me off of the Queens of Comedy tour."
That money funny.
Make it right?
He made it right. You saw me on the tour, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then one night, this is why people could say that's a problem. If I tell you I'm going to pay you $50,000.25, what are you expecting?
$50,025.
So one night they tried to give me what was not all of it. I need all of it. I don't care if it's a little bit. It's mine.
Right.
And until you get it, my throat hurts. So they had to go. I get sick on them, Shannon.
Oh, you
I feel a little
out of the weather.
Well, I performed that night because they had to go get my money.
Right.
Then they started selling shows off. So what that means is now you got different promoters coming in. We're women. We are women. Okay? Samore had an assistant and I had an assistant. And both of our assistants were not the kind of men that was going to fight.
Right.
Okay? They might scratch you.
Right.
But they weren't going to ball their fists up and do no guffing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we're in a position now where we're trying to defend ourselves because now you walking up, I'm a promoter. Take pictures with my family. And we had no idea this was happening.
Right.
One night, we were on the Kings and Queens,
Right.
right? And oh, how Bernie Mac is missed. Oh, how he's missed because he was a real one, right?
Okay.
All the Kings of Comedy had limos, separate. Steve had one, Bernie had one, Cedric had one, DL had one, all of them. Then another limousine pull up and they say, "This is for the Queens of Comedy." I said, "I will not. I will not. You better pull up 4 separate limousines. You're going to treat us the same way you treated them. We helped sell out 44,000 people. That wasn't just the kings, it was the kings and the
queens.
queens. So you will treat us accordingly.
Right.
All the kings got Rolex watches when it was over.
What y'all get?
I'm still waiting for mine. That's the treatment. So when people say, why won't y'all do the queens again? It was a moment in time. And it was a beautiful moment in time. And some things should be left where they were.
Wow. This is what I want to get to.
I want you to get to it.
A lot of this happened with the movie Precious. That's the movie that made Monique a star among stars. She shined the brightest because you played that role. Nobody else could have did that role justice, Mo.
Thank you, baby.
Nobody. You played it, and I remember walking out the movie, and I called my sister. I said, she's going to win the Academy Award for that role. I said, it's almost like she was born to play that role. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Okay, you shoot a movie.
Yes.
The movie wrap. You might have to come back and do some voiceover, some touch-up work here or there.
Yes.
That's already scripted into the contract. Now, the promotion aspect of the contract. What were you contracted to do? Because that seems to be where the conflict seems to come in.
Yes.
Because you like, okay, so tell the people that's going to watch this and listen to this, what was Monique contractually obligated to do as far as the promotional aspect of Precious?
I was contractually obligated to promote the movie Precious under Lee Daniels Productions.
Okay.
I promoted Precious under Lee Daniels Productions. I did Oprah, I did magazines, I did TV shows, I did all of the promotions I was contractually obligated to do.
Okay.
That was it.
That was it.
I'm done with it.
Done.
Okay?
Done.
Now Precious is going to Cannes, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I have the Monique Show.
Mm-hmm.
I am on the Spread the Love tour. I have toddler babies. And I'm also a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The Monique Show is like down for maybe a couple days, a week or so.
Right.
I got some days off on the tour. I'm going to relax with my family.
Right.
Because once they sold the movie,
Right.
you didn't sell me.
Right.
Whoopi Goldberg. See, Whoopi Goldberg said I could have schooled you and told you what was expected when I didn't promote and go overseas. And you know how you just looked up and looked away?
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg, what you were saying to me, I could have schooled you and told you, you go in that house and let them have their way with you.
Right.
And I'll be here when you come back.
Mm-hmm.
So after I'm done
Right.
with my promotions, Lionsgate reaches out to my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, they think they're talking to my attorney, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they say, we want Monique to come to Cannes. She promoted so well in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
We want her to go international and promote the movie and do Cannes.
Okay.
I tell my husband, please let them know I respectfully decline. I appreciate it, but I respectfully decline. I'm going to spend some time at home.
Right.
Lionsgate calls back. We really would like for Monique to come to Cannes,
Mm-hmm.
promote this movie. Please let them know I respectfully decline. I'm going to spend time with my family. Lionsgate calls back and says, what is it going to take for us to get Monique to come to Cannes? We'll give her another week in France. We'll upgrade her room. My husband said, is there a dollar amount attached to what you're asking for? Oh, we will never pay anyone to promote a film, never. He said, we understand, and we're never going to work for free. You're asking her to do something that she's not obligated to do.
Correct.
Well, what is this the attorney? He said, actually, I'm her manager and her husband. Now we can put it on the husband's being difficult.
Right.
Right? Okay. So I don't owe anybody anything. That's why I was never sued. Now we go to the Hoodie Awards. Tyler Perry is there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Perry calls me in his room. Now, when I go into Tyler Perry's room, his staff is in there. Now, you ready to holler laughing?
Yes.
Okay, I take my security in there with me.
Thought she didn't mess with
always
Steve
want to have
Harvey, though.
somebody with me.
Right.
Right? Tyler Perry does this. And the people scattered. They all left out the room. I said, look at this shit right here. You saw me. And they all scattered.
That wasn't the lights, that's for the people. You know, lights on?
Lights off, because they got their asses up out of here, okay? So at the time, my security looked at me, I said, you don't work for Tyler Perry. You could.
Touche.
So Tyler Perry says to me, listen, Monique, we really need you to, you know, promote this film, because if you get nominated for the Oscar, your next movie is going to be $3 to $5 million. If you win it, your next movie is $6 to $8 million. I said, Tyler Perry, who you talking to? I'm a black woman. When they gonna pay that kind of money? No, I'm telling you, that's what it is. And if you just go and promote it, I said, listen, brother, you can pay me to promote it. Because at the time, now him and Oprah are producers on the film.
Right.
I said, you can pay me to do it. I don't care where the check come from, but y'all just gotta pay me to do it. He said, I'm not in the habit of giving out money for free. I said, and I'm not in the habit of working for free. But you gave T.D. Jakes a check for $1 million, but that's another story, and I'm back. So when he then says that, it's like, listen, we both mutually agree. You don't give out free money, I don't work for free.
Service.
We hugged, Shannon. When we were done talking, we hugged. Do you hear me?
Yes.
We hugged like brother and sister, like it's cool, he understands.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Oprah Winfrey calls my husband. I want y'all to take your time, because I'm getting ready to go into
Yeah, that's your camera right
Yeah,
there.
because the people at home, they sitting there like, Monique, what happened? Bitch, I'm getting ready to tell you. She calls my husband.
Okay.
My husband explains to her what's going on. She says, there have been times I've had to draw the line in the sand. So my husband said, well, what is different between you and Monique? You've got to draw the line, and you're saying when you know they're asking you for too much. She said, you're absolutely right, and I understand your position. You're right in the position you're taking. So when you're looking at me saying, well, what happened? I'm telling you what happened.
But, okay, she's saying that privately, but did she voice that publicly?
Did you hear her say it?
I did.
Did you hear her say it? JT, did you hear her say it?
No.
Zach, did you hear her say it, Zach?
Look at that camera.
Regina, did you hear her? Tommy? No one seemed to hear that publicly. She said that privately. Now, when she said that, see, everything we're saying to you, it can be proven. She had him on speakerphone. And that when she was talking to him, in that room was a man named Reggie Wells, who just passed, who used to be Oprah Winfrey's makeup artist, who he had a conversation with me and my husband. Now, for you babies that's good with the little internet, we had a show on called Monique and Sydney Finding a Way to Be Unoffended. Finding a Way to Be Unoffended. Reggie Wells is on that show speaking about Oprah Winfrey. Reggie Wells said, Monique, I was there that day. He said, and when y'all got off the phone, I looked at her and said, why don't you just pay this woman the money? She deserves it. And she looked at him and said, I won't be paying her nothing. And he said, that's not right, and you know it's not right. Now, that man shared that on that show. So I'm not saying nothing that hasn't been shared. So you have people that will say things in private, but won't do it publicly. I'm the person that I will say it in private, and I'm going to say it publicly, because that's the only way we make it right.
But you don't need somebody to talk good to your face. You need somebody to talk good behind your back. So if you telling me what a great person I am in my face, but you telling me I'm dog poop behind my back, what good is that, Mo?
What does that make those kind of people, Shannon?
What
does it make those kind of
cowardly.
people? That is cowardly. See, here's what's this, when we have our juggernauts, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, these are our juggernauts of our community. These are the people that our babies say, when I grow up, I want to be that.
Yes.
I want to be like that. So we have to call those people to the mat and say, listen, what are you teaching our babies? You're feeding poison because you're showing them your private jet. I'm going to show you my mansion. I'm going to show you my fancy cars. But my character is shot and I'm bankrupt. I got a lot of money in my bank. It's more zeros than some of them than we can imagine. But their character, they are bankrupt. Those are bankrupt people. So everybody that Kat sat right here and told you about, I can't wait to see your next interviews with those people.
They ain't coming on now, Mo.
Invite them.
I have.
They not gonna do it.
Well, look, I've already done Steve. I have a relationship with Steve.
Do him again. Do him again. And I'm gonna say this.
I'm trying to get Oprah and Tyler though.
Baby, we got him. Y'all, come on, stop playing.
They ain't coming on more thanks to you.
You know how.
Shit.
And I don't want to put you on a spot, but I'm gonna say it because I appreciate you as a black man and what you're doing.
Thank you.
If you are my friend, and someone says to me, Monique, Shannon Sharp wronged me, and you my friend, I'm gonna call my friend.
You gonna come to me.
And I'm gonna say, hey, is what they saying true? And if you get to hemming and hawing, I'm gonna tell you, till you fix it, you and I can't talk. Because if you'll do them that way, it'll be a matter of time before you do it to me. So if Steve Harvey is your friend, you call your friend up and you ask him, is what our sister saying right, man? Because if it is, we can't do that to her. If that's our sister. See, it took a transgender named T.S. Madison. It was a guy named Jamaica Carter. Jamaica Carter and our mutual friend. Jamaica Carter and our friends. T.S. Madison was a mutual friend. So Jamaica called me and said, would you mind doing T.S. Madison's show? I go do T.S. Madison's show. When I tell T.S. Madison, when the camera cuts, I said, listen, your friend is wrong. She said, Monique Lee Daniels is my friend. I said, then you need to call your friend and tell him to fix this shit. She said, I will. Within a couple of days, who did I get a call from? Lee Daniels. See, that's a friend. That's a true friend that's saying, I love you so much that I want to make sure that's not on your heart or your conscience. Let's fix it. Let's make it right. So when people ask Lee now, when we did the deliverance together, how was it to work with Monique? It was as if we had never parted ways because he fixed it. He owned it and he took accountability for it. I can't now keep you to the cross because you've owned it.
Right.
I've had to be forgiven.
Right.
So I appreciate that someone had grace and mercy with me. So I'm going to have that with other people when they take accountability for what they've done.
How much did you make for the role, Mary Impression?
I was paid $50,000.
That's it.
That's it. And I never complained because that's what I signed up for. It was an independent film. Right? So when my friend called me,
that's like her standard, $55,000.
He said, bitch, this one right here, he said, this shit is crazy. By the time I got to page 10, I called him back. I said, what the hell is this, Lee? He said, bitch, I know. He said, it's sick. After my husband and I read that script, he said, Mama, if you play this with no judgment, when he say action, don't judge the character, just become it. This is an award-winning.
Yes.
This is award-winning. So with all of that being said, I never complained about the $50,000. I did everything I was supposed to do. No, nothing. It is when they started asking me to become a slave. It is when Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey started asking me to work for free. It is when they started doing the bidding for whomever the gatekeeper was at the time to say, we can get her. Remember the scene in Sparkle? You ever seen Sparkle with Irene Carroll?
Yeah.
And Philip Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
Remember when they was in the car because the Jew man was trying to get him to sign over that contract? And he kept shaking his head like, you will not get me to turn my back on this woman.
Right.
That's what this is. We ain't turning our back. My husband ain't turning his back. He ain't signing up for something he know ain't right. And people have a problem with that. And we got to keep speaking on it, Shannon, because the next one's coming for real. I would hate for you to have to sit another sister in this chair and she tell you the same story.
So, considering you won the Oscar, normally when you win the Oscar, not saying you're gonna win another or get Oscar-worthy scripts, but there's normally a run where you in 2-3 films. Now, Monique, that 50,000 is 500 or 1 million or 2 million. You feel that you were blackballed from that point, and Monique did not make the money what she should have been compensated for future roles.
Let's tie it all back in.
Okay.
Okay. You have a man that says, I lied on you.
Yes.
I put a rumor out there on you.
Yeah.
And I said I was going to apologize. But then you have another man that comes back when I'm offered Empire and says, Mo, they said you're difficult to work with. You're going to be a problem. Where would they get that from?
Well, somebody that's as powerful as Tyler.
Okay. So now I'm scratched from that.
Yeah.
right? Now, when it comes to movies, I'm a difficult person to work with. Anybody ever had a problem with me?
They never said, did anybody say that prior to Precious?
Yes. No, not prior to Precious.
Right.
I've never had a problem with nobody. As long as I was saying, yes, you good. The moment you start challenging, we got a problem.
What about the Parker? What about Moesha? Had anybody said anything prior about Monique's character prior to her not wanting to do international press, what she wasn't contractually obligated to do?
Never.
Prior to that, nobody said anything.
Never. The only person that could say anything that is a producer is a guy named Will Packer. I did a movie called Almost Christmas. When Will Packer sat down with my husband and I, Shannon, every other word out his mouth was queen. You our queen, and the queen, and the queen, and the queen. And we just want you to do a cameo. And here's what we're going to pay you. My husband said, Will, that does not cover Monique doing promotions. That covers none of that, brother. This is just for the cameo, okay?
Yeah.
The director was David Talbot. My husband and David Talbot were college roommates. They were across the hall from one another. In the script, I was that quick because it's a cameo.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So 99% of the things you heard Aunt May say, it was Monique, it was me ad-libbing.
Yeah.
Okay? Because it's a cameo.
Right.
When we had a meeting with Will Packer says, if you do this for me, I'll give you a 3-picture deal and a sitcom. Now we have all of this in writing. It's all in writing.
What were you needing to do? A press? You're gonna need to do press for it? You're gonna need to promote it? Or just do the cameo?
Just do the cameo. Okay. That is what was agreed upon. We were gonna do a cameo for the amount of money that he said they were gonna pay. No problem. Well, what they did was they kept spreading it out. They kept spreading this character out. We want you in this scene, and that scene, and this scene.
But that ain't no cameo. Cameo is okay.
Okay. David Talbot is our friend. We don't want to make this bad for David Talbot, so we said, okay, no problem. Now let's talk about the treatment. While we're on that set of Almost Christmas, there were a few things that was happening that I took issue with. Will Packer is a producer. He came on that set and tried to give us a direction while the director was standing right there. I said, Will Packer, I will not allow you to do that. You would never do that to Steven Spielberg. You would never do that to a white director. You as a producer going to just walk in and give a direction, so I will not take direction from you. If you have something you want to give to me, you give it to the director. And you have the director to give it to me. You are disrespectful to him. Now, I had a meeting in David Talbot's trailer with Will Packer, David Talbot, and the first AD because they were being disrespectful to this black man. And I was not going to allow that to happen. Okay. I had a conversation with the first AD, and I pulled him outside. I said, listen, brother, when it's your turn, I won't let nobody do it to you. But what I'm not going to do is stand by and watch you give a direction after the director gives us a direction. It confuses the cast, and it's disrespectful. And to that black man's credit, his eyes filled up with water, and he said, I appreciate you for having this conversation with me. Okay? So Will Packer and I are now at odds because I'm seeing how this brother's acting. I'm in my trailer. My assistant at the time, her name was Robin, right? Robin is in her 50s. She's in my trailer with her shoes off. She's on the computer. Will Packer's friend, or I'm not sure what title to give her, okay? She comes into the trailer. Now, in this trailer, it is me, my hairstylist, makeup artist, and my assistant. This young lady who we're all old enough to be her mother, she comes and looks at my assistant and said, what's your shoes doing off?
You in your trailer, why do you care?
I said, excuse me, you're out of order. You don't come in here questioning nobody in my trailer. As a matter of fact, and her energy was not that of, I'm playing, it was, I said, as a matter of fact, I need you to go get Will. Because I'm not even going to have this conversation with you. I'm going to talk to your boss. When Will Packer comes into that trailer for us to talk, do you know what that man says to me and my hairstylist and my makeup artist and my assistant? I am the head nigga in charge. Everything stops with me. I said, well, I want to let you know this, Will. You're going to hear that you're the head nigga in charge from me as many times as I can tell people that's what you said. I said, and furthermore, you need to check your assistant. Because this is my space. We weren't in your trailer with our shoes off. We're in my space with our shoes off.
But why would he come to you with that type of energy? What led him to say that when all you asked his assistant to do was to go get him because she's questioning why
That's a
people
good
in your trailer have the truth?
That's a good one, because what I said to him was,
Crazy,
who
Pumpy.
do we need to talk to? This young lady can't be up in here like that. And that's when he became the head nigga in charge.
Oh.
And then I said, who are you the head nigga in charge of? We have Danny Glover on this set. We have a legend and an icon. Are you the head nigga in charge of him? Are you the head nigga in charge of Kimberly Elise? Are you the head nigga in charge of Gabrielle Union? Are you the head nigga in charge of JB Smooth? Who are you the head nigga in charge of? So he tried to laugh it and joke it. I said, I don't play that way, brother. I said, the food is bad. Like, what we doing here? The food was slop. So when they say they didn't have any food, the food we had, nobody ever ate that food because it was just like you can feed them anything. Now here's where it gets even better. Remember how Taraji said the trailers were infested?
Yes.
Our trailers blew up.
What?
They blew up. Now, whenever this airs, I'm going to post the trailers blowing up so that people can see.
Right.
But they blew up. And if any of us were in those trailers, we would have been gone.
Right.
The trailers blew up. Now, when I was smelling the gas, we went to the brothers that was hooking up the trailers, and we said, hey, we smell gas. They said, Mo, we let him know, talking about the head nigga in charge, we let him know. He just said, okay, and walked away. I said, he what? He just said, okay, and walked away. The trailers blew up. Did Will Packer reach out to anybody? I can't say. He didn't reach out to me and say, hey, is everything okay? Did you lose anything is everything good? The only thing they wanted to know from me was, where was Aunt May's wigs?
Huh?
Where are those wigs? Nobody asked, not the studio, not Will Packer, not nobody.
Wow.
Said, are you good? Did you lose anything?
Right.
I said, the wigs blew up in the explosion.
Right.
So to understand what we have to deal with, and to understand most people are too afraid to say it out loud, that we are being mistreated. This is not right.
Right.
So if that means y'all won't want to play with me, I don't want to play with you either. Let's be clear. I don't want to play with somebody that don't care if I've blown up. What if we were in those trailers? What do y'all say to my family? What do you say? So
I don't even know.
With Precious, I owed no one anything.
Right.
With Almost Christmas, I owed you nothing. However, I did it because we had a relationship with a brother named David Tauber. Right. And we didn't want to send him through no drama, no nothing, so we went along with it. Other than that, Shannon Sharp, there is no one that can say, that will sit in my face or my husband's face and say, we had a bad experience with you.
I read that you said this is a chapter of forgiveness. That's your thing, a chapter of forgiveness.
I didn't say that. That's what the guy at Hollywood Reporter said. Okay, don't put words in my mouth. That's not what I said. That's what his ass said.
Okay, what did you say?
Okay, that's what he said. Listen.
What would it take, Mo? Mo, what would it take for Monique to forgive Oprah and Tyler Perry?
Be accountable. Be accountable. And for
You want Tyler Perry to say what he said on that tape. You want him to say that publicly.
And he cost my family millions.
And you want to be compensated.
Yes, I want to be very clear about that. If someone cost you millions, do you want that back?
Absolutely.
So I'm no different than you.
Right.
Especially when I've done nothing wrong.
Right.
Especially when you've admitted that you've lied.
Okay.
Especially when you've admitted that you started a rumor. Yes, you need to compensate me and my family.
For Oprah.
For Oprah Winfrey, you owe me an apology. See, Shannon, Oprah and I had a private conversation about our mothers.
Mm-hmm.
This is the part people don't know.
Right.
I shared with that woman what me and my mother were going through. Now, my mother's no longer here, right?
Right.
And I shared with Oprah Winfrey what we were going through and how I felt. And I was, you trying to balance it out because it's your mother. And I shared that with you. And I shared with her my family and what the dynamic was. And you don't tell me you're going to have my goddamn parents. I was getting ready to say, goddamn, baby, it was right there. But you don't tell me you're going to have my mother and my father on your show. And you think that that's just okay? And the way you try to apologize in front of a group of women, if you think I've done anything wrong,
No.
You're going to stop that.
Right.
I am very proud of what you've accomplished in your life. We respect everybody, but we over-respect no one. And Oprah Winfrey walks around like, I can't be checked. I won't admit to that I'm wrong.
I'm a firm believer, Mo. No one is beyond reproach.
No one at all. So when you keep saying, what is it? I'm going to keep answering you the same exact way.
Right.
So if you talk to your camera, I'm going to talk to my camera and see how they split the screen. And we're going to invite them at the same time. You talk to them first.
Tyler, Oprah, I would greatly appreciate it if you two guys would come on Club Shay Shay. We sit down, we have a conversation. This is not an interview. This is not hard-hitting. I want you to tell your truth. Miss Oprah, Tyler, tell your truth, and we can get to the bottom of this because, hey, we got an icon here sitting on this couch, and she's hurting.
Oprah and Tyler, I want to say I appreciate my brother Shannon Shaw for saying what he just said, and I want to clear something up. I'm not hurt personally. I'm hurt for our community. I'm hurt that y'all would allow yourselves to sit in something that you know that you've done wrong and not say anything. That helps us not. So Brother Shay Shay have said, y'all come on the sofa. Oprah, this liquor is good. Okay, and I understand you like cranberry and vodka. Okay, Roosevelt Cartwright told me you drink that you like. And you know, he told me some other things with the drink that you like. Come on, Uncle Shay Shay. Let's have a conversation. Well, you took yours all the way down, and I cannot. Okay? Okay, I cannot do that.
You already did a good job.
Thank you, sugar. Now, when we get ready to wrap up, I'm going to give you an exclusive on something that don't nobody know. Okay? Don't nobody know this, and it's going to be something.
It's going to be something.
It's going to be something.
I want to get look, I know it's traumatic, and if you don't want to have to relive it, you don't have to.
20 minutes
What you
away.
went through with your brother.
Yes.
When you going through that, how is that impacting you during that time? Because I think you're 7 to 13.
You better do your damn homework, Shannon Shaw.
And the impact that it's had on you and your relationship with men.
Oh. Shannon trying to be a journalist.
No.
Shannon, I throw this liquor at you. God damn it, you see you trying to come up, Bubba Waters, get off my brother. What impact? Wow. Remember when you said, and I don't know if you said this, so I don't want to quote it because I could be wrong.
Okay.
But someone said Shannon Sharp don't mess with black women. And
before you go any further, can I say this?
Please.
My grandmother told me something when I was a little boy. She said, boy, never chase a lie.
Come on, baby. Come on. Come on.
Why?
And you never said that, right?
I've never said that.
Okay, so that's why I said.
I got black kids.
That's what I said. I said, them babies black.
Yes.
They not confusing.
Yes.
We ain't trying to see if she Latin or Dominican. They black. They mama got black. Everybody that Shannon messed with was black.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Black. Okay? So there's this thing with us that you can't tell us nothing. And oftentimes when a black woman's been traumatized, she's guarded. Now you take a black woman that's been traumatized and now she got a little bit of money. And you take black men, some of them, that is impressed with the money. So I can say to you what I want to. Not being totally disrespectful, but you know who's running this.
Yeah.
You know how we do this. I've always had an aggressive personality.
Yes.
I have always jumped with, if I think you trying to violate. So to say, what did that do to me? It made me like this. And it made me say, I'll get you before you can get me. Because I know what it's like to not be in control of what you're taking from me. Right. I know what it's like to be in a position where there's nothing I can do, right? So when it came to men, baby, listen, I had my share, okay? I'm not saying I was no whore, but I was close. Hey, Hey, come on now,
Close to
Shannon,
being
get
a
back
whore?
to me.
What?
Now get back to me and call
What?
me later. Call me later, Shannon. Call me later, baby. Come
Lord have mercy,
because you a football player with a lot of money. When you go into a city and you was in your prime, you had your pick. It's no different for a woman. When I went into a city, everybody wanted to be Professor Ogilvy. Hey, and I would pick him. Okay, you look like you could be.
But see, here's the thing. Now, Mo, all of a sudden, you being this fat black woman, it ain't a problem. Because I remember you said it was
Well, let me say this.
First.
It wasn't never a problem with me being a fat black woman, because real black men, they like them in all shapes and sizes, all complexions. It is these new Negroes that get into, she gotta be this way, she gotta be that way. But real black men, if you can bake a pound cake naked, what y'all talking about? What you talking about? But what it did, though, was, and this is why I feel the way I feel about my husband.
Okay.
I remember him saying to me one night, because when we first got together, I was a handful, Shannon. And that's when I was really sick in the way that I thought.
Right.
And he said, check this out. You've used your brother molesting you as a crutch for your bad behavior. He said, and I won't allow that. He said, when you was a little girl, there was nothing you can do about it. But now as a grown woman, every choice and decision you make, it is yours. And I will not allow you to keep on saying, because of my brother. Because at what point do you take accountability for you? Baby, that grew me up, and that grew my ass up that night so fast, because I wanted to hear what my psychiatrist was saying to me. I understand. My husband was like, check this out. Check this out. You are in control of you. Every choice and decision you make, every one you lay down with, that was your choice. You've never come back to me and said you were raped. As a grown woman, you've never said that. So stop holding on to that crutch. Stop holding on to that victim. Because this happened to me. I'm mad for days, and I come up out of that. And when I went to the psychiatrist, right? Everything my husband said to me, the psychiatrist said to me. But he said, I needed you to go to somebody that had no dog in the fight, because I didn't want you to think I was judging you. I didn't want you to think that because I know the history, I'm pointing my finger. So when I would go to that psychiatrist, Dr. Cassandra Wanzo, she's incredible. Y'all want to know about red bottom shoes? Let me tell you somebody that's going to get your mind right. Dr. Cassandra Wanzo. This woman was incredible. But every time I would go to session, everything she said, my husband had already told me. So me and men, I had to come to grips with that. I had to come to grips with being an insecure fat girl. And I had to come to grips with my sister telling me, ain't no man gonna ever really want you because you're fat. I had to come to grips with my father was like, listen, I'm here, but I'm really not. I had to come to grips with those things. So my way of coming to grips with those things was, now I'm a boss. I'm independent and I'm empowered. Don't you know I run this? See, I too went to the Oprah Winfrey University of Empowerment. And you don't need a man to make it.
Right.
I signed up.
Right.
And I was at the top of the class till I realized I was going to bed empty. I was going to bed with nothing but stuff. I did not want to be the poor little rich girl who have everything but nothing at all. Don't that sound familiar? I did not want to be that, Shannon. So even for the men that I was with, right?
You weren't with them.
I wasn't?
No.
Okay, talk to me, Shannon. Let that liquor use you. I wasn't with them.
That was just a body for the lonely.
Liquor makes shit sound good, won't it? Liquor will make you not sound like a whore. It was just a body for the lonely. Let me tell you what my husband told me, right? Because I was in tears. I'm like, I was a whore. I was crying. Because
I wonder who you gonna have
when
next.
you come to grips with it, when you realize how many. When you realize what you've done and you got to come to grips with it, and now
you got to stop having these long ass interviews, bro.
And I gotta say, I have been with this many. And my husband looked at me and said, Mama, you ain't no whore. You just have friendly pussy. Didn't he make it right? That's all I had was friendly pussy. So for you whores out there,
that ain't what it is.
Friendly pussy.
Right.
That's what he told me, Shannon. He made it right.
So did you ever have a good relationship with your father?
Yes. When I was a little girl.
Little.
When I was a little girl, my father could do no wrong. When I was a little girl, baby, my father would put me in that car and he would go to the cut rate store and he'd get his liquor and he'd go over Mr. Johnny house. Now, I'm a little girl, right? He'd go over Mr. Johnny house and him and Mr. Johnny go in the back and I could smell the reefer, but I didn't know it was reefer, right? And they smoke and they had their little
You
drink.
gotta
to come
shut
back
up.
out.
We 3
I
hours
was
into this bit.
attached to
Wrap
him.
it up.
Me and my father started having a problem when what he was saying to me wasn't making sense.
What did he say?
And now I'm about 13. He was a bullshitter, but he was a good sounding bullshitter. Like, and so as a kid, you'd be like, my father know everything. But once I started growing up and I started seeing the treatment that he gave my mother, never physically abusive, but mentally, they abused one another. I won't just put it on, but once I started questioning him on just some of his decisions and choices, I became the bad person. And I went to my grandmother one time, Mimi. I talk about her
You
in
have
the
a very
Netflix
close
special,
relationship with your grandma.
right?
As did I.
And my father, this was one incident that sent me to my grandmother, bent over crying.
Monique definitely has not
I was trying to
uplifted
get a Ford
anybody
Festival,
this entire episode.
It was 4
She's
years,
tore down a lot of
okay?
people.
It was about
But she has not
$2,
uplifted
but I didn't
anybody.
have $2,
Right.
and I
But
needed
yet
a
she's
co-sign.
on this uplifting type thing.
So I asked my father, please co-sign for me to get this Ford Festival. And I'm going to quote him. He said, Nikki, you won't fuck up my credit. And I'm like, well, what have I ever done to make you think I would fuck up your credit? I pay my rent on time. I'm responsible. I go to work. No. The next week, not only did he co-sign for my sister, he just signed for my sister. Like he put the car in his name, right? I go to my grandmother and I'm like, Mimi, why would he do that? Like, she said, Nikki, every parent knows their weakest link. And every parent knows the one that's going to be okay. She said, you're going to be okay. At that point, I wiped my tears. And I'm glad he didn't co-sign. I'm glad I had to bust my ass to get it. I'm glad I had to figure it out. I'm glad he didn't just come and rescue it. I had to figure it out. So that's why right now when I sit here and you go through a decade of being blackballed or whatever, you're difficult and all that, it allowed me to keep standing. It allowed me not to go sit on a couch with Oprah Winfrey and say, I'm sorry for nothing I've ever done to you.
Right.
That's what those lessons taught me. Stand in it and stand strong, unapologetically.
You speak a lot, during this interview, you spoke a lot about curses and the trauma. How do we break that generational trauma, that curse that is in our community?
What we've said from the beginning, and that's truth. It's just the truth. We get so comfortable based off of lies that the lies become the truth. I think if we just started dealing with the truth. Address it. Even when it doesn't put you in a good light.
Yeah, that might be next on the list is to do a book.
Because then people start talking about
New York Times
your honor
bestseller,
and
Monique.
your character and your integrity. If I've wronged you.
Since she got so much to
tell
say,
me.
damn it.
Please tell me and then show me where I've wronged you. If you can say, Monique, this is what you did right here, then I owe you an apology. But if our community dealt in truth, how much further would we be? That's it. That's how I think we make it better.
Right.
We deal in the absolute truth.
But sometimes, it's kind of like when I tell people, I was explaining to someone, I said, just imagine you went to the doctor and Lord forbid this happened. You have cancer, but we're not going to treat it. It's going to go away. No doctor would tell you that. You have something going on, we're not going to talk about it. It'll just go away.
That's what they bank on. That's what they bank on. And too many of our black women have gone to their graves. They've left here in despair. They've left here broken-hearted, broke down, and we got a chance to see it in live and in person with our beautiful sister Taraji Henson.
Right. What gave you the courage? Your Netflix. They offered you one thing, you found out they had gave someone 10 times.
People can't handle the truth.
20 times.
Come on, 26.
26 times that. And you're like, no. I'm not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to do fair. That's what we do.
Yes.
I mean, you speak about diversity and you talk about doing the right thing. Okay, this is an opportunity for you to put that. Instead of being lip service, okay, put pen to paper, let's make it right.
I didn't know any other way. See, when I heard Wanda Sykes say, I support you, I just went somewhere else. I don't know how to do that,
Right.
especially when it's wrong. If we keep just going somewhere else, we'll keep getting mistreated.
Right.
But when you hear Amy Schumer, and this was not something I found out, they publicly said it. It was pride.
Right.
We paid Amy Schumer $11 million. She came back and said, I'm not a legend or icon, but I should get at least $2 more million, and they gave her $13 million. Well, when Netflix says to me, you are a legend, you are an icon, when Robbie Pearl says that, well, why is my legend and icon different?
Right.
Then these people, legend and icon. That's all. And when I say we were able to come to the table and we were able to make it make sense, and we were able to do the special, and we appreciated them saying, listen, how can we work this out? Now, you know what happens with that?
What happened?
People were having call-ins when I said, this is not right. I was donkey of the day. Remember that? I was donkey of the day. The breakfast nubs called me the donkey of the day. That's what they said. And they had a whole call-in about how I was donkey of the day. But you didn't do the same thing when you found out we settled. Now all of a sudden, don't nobody know what a settlement is. I mean, well, we don't even really, it was really, really quick. We just want to throw it away.
I remember that.
So with
Charlamagne the
that
God,
Netflix
bro.
special, it was just like, no, guys, I gotta stand up. Because if not, that little girl coming behind me for real,
Right.
that has that resume, I want to let her know you can fight, baby.
Right.
You just don't have to say okay. You can stand.
Would you be willing to do another Netflix special?
Yeah, I had a great time. Now, for me, specials are specials.
Right.
It's something special.
Right.
So, you know.
I remember her
we'll
prison
see.
special. That shit was
You know,
horrible.
I wanted to ask people that I hear our community call, the community call me
Yes.
and they call you auntie.
Yes.
Do you wear that with a badge of courage like I do?
I wear it. That was such an honor for you babies to put auntie on my name. Do y'all know how that made me feel? And I'm not the auntie that's going to tell you the shit that you want to hear. I'm the auntie
don't like
that's going to tell
Charlamagne?
you
He
what you
funny to me,
need to
bro.
hear. So for the things that I have said about our community and our babies and our sisters, I cannot back down because y'all gave me the title. I didn't ask for it. But when they gave it to me, Shannon, that was the universe saying, you now sit in that seat.
Yep.
You are now responsible.
Yes.
That's why I must speak out and I must speak loudly and I must say it to the top of my lungs because
Right.
God damn if Fannie Lou Hamer didn't do it for me.
Right.
God damn if Eartha Kitt didn't do it for me. God damn if Moms Mabel didn't do it for me. The ones that came before us, and there's a woman still alive named Sylvia Traymore Morrison. That woman got paid in a Coca-Cola. That woman got paid in a Coca-Cola at her next gig and $5. She was the first black woman to write for Saturday Night Live, but they have her listed as a production assistant. And she's still alive. That's why I speak the way I speak, because I will not let them wash her out of history as if she never existed.
Dating. What advice? If somebody, if a group of women were in here and they're like, Auntie, come on, Auntie, talk to us. How this dating thing? Because it's Mo is different now than when you and I.
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
Are you trying to say? What you trying to say? Mo?
I'm
You
looking right at you.
I know
I'm
you looking at me.
grateful. I ain't backing down.
And
You
she
better
married,
take
though?
your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me
live
tell
my
y'all what
life.
Shannon needs.
Let me live my
Let
life.
me tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl.
I do.
This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
Damn.
When
I'm
they
glad
want you to
somebody
go for
told
a
his
fourth
ass
round,
that.
you looking at her like, bitch, listen, you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah.
Because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that fourth round, she's going to say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's going to get your energy back up. I'm talking right to you. Shit. So he thought I was going to be scared. Yes, I'm talking. And I know an old gal, she'd be good to you. Her name is Elladora. Now, when you know somebody named Elladora, she's old school. Now, Miss Elladora told me to tell you.
It's almost over.
She said, I think he like red velvet.
Oh, I do.
I say, Miss Elladora, if he do like that, she said, you let him know I got something for him.
Yeah, I like
and she
red
don't
pepper.
have no teeth. Come on, pick your glass up and clack it for me.
I love
Come
red
on now.
pepper. I
These
love
young
red
gals will
pepper.
bite you. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, guess I gotta come on home.
Come on home, Shannon. And y'all stop putting lies out about my brother because I was in my feelings when y'all said he didn't date black women. Y'all stop that shit. You stop it. Now, he might throw a white one in there every now and again. And it's okay. It's okay. Because sometimes, we ain't into everything.
Yeah.
We don't do everything. So sometimes Uncle Shay Shay need a spice of life.
Yeah, see? There you go.
He need to go across the street, but he always going to come back. That's all we saying to you, Oprah and Tyler. Come on home. Come on home.
Damn.
Come on home. Come on home.
Sierra says a lot of women talk about Sierra's prayer, but when a God sends a good man, they don't want them. Is that true?
I cannot speak for them. I can only speak for me. Because when the universe sent mine to me, baby.
You was ready. You was ready.
When he sent that man to me, even this morning, I thank the universe for that man right there. Before I came on air with you, I was talking to him.
I know.
He said, Mama, you heard me talking.
I did.
I said, hey, Daddy. Yeah, I did. Because
Like her calling her husband daddy is just strange to
we've
me.
been conditioned to understand you.
Hey,
We've
Daddy.
been trained to fight against you.
Right.
We've been trained to go against you. We've watched our mamas, our
Or
grandmamas,
whatever.
our aunties
Whatever.
speak ill of a black man. So now when a black man comes and he good, you waiting for the bad because grandmama told you black men wasn't shit. Mama told you black men wasn't shit. Your auntie said black men ain't shit. So all you have in your mind is black men ain't shit. And so when you get that beautiful black man, he's now got to say to you, erase everything they taught you.
Right.
Because I'm here.
Or then you treat him like that, and then he goes, and then you talk about.
Now you're mad because he didn't want you the white girl, Shannon. Now y'all start treating Shannon good, okay? Start treating them good. Now, Shannon, I got to catch my plane.
Okay, this is the last one.
Unless you want to send me back on your jet.
I wish I had one, Mo. I wish I had one. But I'm going to get you out here on this
See
one.
what y'all did?
You heard what Shaq said. Shaq
What'd he
said,
say?
they asked Shaq, should a man open up to a woman? Shaq said no. He says, because if you do, they're going to use it against you. He said, because if I'm crying about something, they're going to say the first time they get mad, they're going to say, see, you crying because your daddy said what he said.
How do you take advice from a man who has no woman? And I love Shaq.
Damn.
But how do you take advice from my brother that has no one?
Okay.
If you have that person in your life and you say, listen, I'm dealing, I'm going through, who else do you talk to at nighttime in your pillow talk? Who else do you share your life with? Who are you sharing with your life with, Shaq? Do you tell another man about your situation? And does he make you feel better? Like, who do you share your life with? So I don't agree with that at all. And I love my brother, but I don't agree with that. I think that makes division. Because if I got to call my girl and I talk to my
She's
husband.
saying that Shaq confides in
When I heard
another
Oprah
man.
say, and these are her words, not mine. She said, when I be stressed
She didn't
out
say that.
and I be going through it after the show, I will
That
come
Shaq is
home
pillow
and Gail
talking
could
with
calm me
another
down
man.
and put me to sleep.
Allegedly.
What
Oh
you say?
shit.
What's that?
Okay, then you said it.
I'm going. Nope. Oh, I'm gonna get Oprah on here. I'm gonna get Oprah on the show.
But those are her words. So I believe that partnership is partnership all the way around. When I leave this earth, there is nothing my husband will not know about me, and the other way around.
Did you know after your first two marriages you gonna get married again?
Yes, because my first two marriages were just marriages of. My first marriage was you just couldn't have the milk without buying the cow.
Right.
That was the first marriage.
Right.
And we were boxers.
Okay.
And we were Friday night fights. Okay. Okay. We were it wasn't domestic violence. We was Friday night fights.
Right.
Okay. I took an L sometime, but sometime I didn't.
Right.
Okay. 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 The second one was I couldn't afford to pay my rent.
Right.
And I didn't want to have a boyfriend.
Right.
So that's why I say this is the first time I've really been married.
Right. Tell me the story that you wanted to share that nobody else knows that you was gonna share with us.
Y'all ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
I want you to move in. That man that was sitting right here on this couch, his name is Cat Williams.
Yes.
Cat Williams and I have a relationship. We're fraternal twins. That's all.
That's it.
That's it. That is my twin, my spiritual, fraternal, non-biological brother. We are twins, baby. Yes, we are. That was it, and that was all.
Thank you.
Don't nobody know that but you. Cat Williams don't even know the shit.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so beautiful. So, Cat,
I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him and say, "Hey, I met your sister for the very first
I
time."
need you to tell him.
Monique, do you want to promote anything
You got anything you want to promote?
Here's what I'll say. Just keep watching. Just keep watching. I'm promoting life. Just keep watching. And I love y'all for real, my babies.
Thank you for watching. Monique, ladies and gentlemen. Mo, thank you, sir.
Damn, bro, that was a long ass episode, man. 3 hours, man. There you go. Wow. A lot was said. A lot of reaction. I'm gonna have to like sleep on this. I don't even know what to say. It was so long. But I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Hopefully we do get Oprah on that show. Hopefully Tyler Perry will be on that show, even though they won't. They ain't gonna ever be on that bit. But man, Shannon Sharp getting a little messy, man. Shannon is getting a little messy, bro. I don't know. I don't know about the direction of the show, but the man is getting a little bit messy. I don't know. Like, what do y'all think? He getting messy or what? But catch y'all on the next one, the next reaction, man. I don't know who it's going to be, but we'll figure it out. So I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I will catch you guys on the next show. Facebook, probably tomorrow we'll be live streaming again, probably some Madden, and then we'll see what's going on. But peace out, everybody.